Morning, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Great to be here with you. Let's get our heads right on a Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. I'm Woodsy. Paul Reindl's our executive producer. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great, Pally. And we've got Ben Higgins, the chairman, friendly neighborhood sports anchor as well. Joins us. How are you?
I'm good.
Are you okay over there?
I am very good, yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're furiously texting. You okay? Everything
I'm
good?
fine. Everything's fine.
Good. Where did you want to start?
Maybe with some self-congratulation.
Some self-congratulation. Okay.
Is that too early in the show?
I
to
was
go
going
in
to
that
wait, but that's
direction?
fine. If you want to go ahead and suck ourselves off right now, that's fine.
Well, I mean, you know how much I enjoy
All right,
a
hang on.
good.
Let me take my pants off.
You know how much I enjoy a good rankings that has nothing to do with us.
Yeah, completely arbitrary
college
rankings.
basketball
Yes.
rankings
Yes.
and who makes the top 25. So you have to understand that when there's rankings out and they do
Can't believe we're starting.
deal
This
with
is
us, I'm very
embarrassing.
excited
It's
about
really
it.
bad.
This is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed that we're starting with
I
this.
was just excited by the news. Paulie texted it this morning that the top 20 morning sports radio shows in America released by Barrett Sports Media, and old pals Ben and Woods
Literally
checking in at
nobody
number
listening
18 in the top 20.
Nobody listening knows who Barrett is.
Doesn't matter.
They don't care.
Nobody knows who the people who vote for the college basketball top 25 are either.
Sure,
And we still report on it every week.
I still don't think Ken Palm is a real person.
Exactly.
So I know. I'm with you. Yeah, we were just Tommy fammed everybody out there. J.I. Gomez. Proud of myself.
Proud of
Yeah.
myself.
Congratulations, fellas.
Well done.
18. There it is. Look at that. Top 20 major market sports radio morning shows, Ben and Woods. I like that very much. Makes me very happy. We don't get we don't get like a bonus or anything for it. It's just more of like like Ben said, it's like self-suckage is what it is. Pretty much. That's it.
I think it creates some buzz and momentum for the show.
I mean,
A little
sure.
national attention. People are, scanning through and going,
Hey,
these
look at
guys
these
in
guys."
San Diego making some noise on the West Coast, not usually considered the hotbed of sports radio, especially in the morning. And, these lists are dominated by New York and
It's true.
Boston and Chicago.
Who's number one?
Boomer and Geo in New
Yeah.
York. They seem to always get the number one slot.
I can barely even
Odyssey
talk.
colleagues.
Yeah, I can barely talk though, and he gets.
Don't overthink it. Just take it as a compliment and enjoy it.
Guys from Boston at number 2.
Okay.
The Musers.
Oh, my beloved Musers.
Dallas,
They're number
Dallas.
3.
Beastly.
Philly.
All right, we're in
Philly in 4th. Boston again in 5.
good company. We're in good company.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, congratulations, fellas. It's nice to be 18, right? 18 is better than 19 or 20. Or last year, I think we were off the list entirely. We're never. What's the highest we've ever been?
Maybe 17.
Were we like
somewhere around
17
there.
or
Right around
15?
there,
Yeah, I think that's probably we're going to settle in that nice lower third for the rest of our careers. hopefully.
Phoenix is above us. That's surprising.
Not really. I mean,
They're
Phoenix has
Snot and Storch.
they've got 4 teams.
Every team.
Yeah, they have a
Huge
lot
market.
of teams. I've never really heard anything about sports radio, the radio scene out there.
I bet they have I bet there's decent radio out there. Decent. Talk a lot of Suns. Cardinals are an interesting team in that they never do anything right. So that's actually really good. That'd be really fun. Like if we were out there, like, when is this team ever gonna we drafted a wide receiver who now forgets how to play wide receiver. Like he's supposed to be one of the best in the world.
When we drive back to Phoenix, we were just there a couple of weeks ago.
We'll be there a couple weeks.
Just look at how unbelievably sprawling it is.
Yeah.
It's gigantic.
It's massive.
Oh, it's a huge city.
Not only do they have, 3, they lost the hockey team.
They
but
did lose the
They
hockey
have 3
team,
major
yeah.
sports, but they also have Arizona State, tons of U of A fans as
Put it
well.
this
So
way, put it this way.
essentially 2 major colleges at the same time.
I've seen over the years, sports radio or sports journalist people from all different cities, they eventually pop up on your algorithm. I've never seen anybody that's like, I work for ESPN Radio Phoenix or whatever. There's guys
if I know.
There's guys that live in Phoenix that are, cover baseball or whatever.
I think it'd be a good market to work in.
And
I
the only
really do.
experience I have listening to him is that one clip we played years ago where they're like, Manny Machado was a turd.
That guy, yeah.
I'm like, that's what we're playing out there in Arizona? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we do the same thing here about the Dodgers, and we do the same thing here about the Diamondbacks. And
we interview the Diamondbacks manager.
That's true. That's true. It's one of the best. I can't wait to get Torrey back on.
He was amazing.
Like I'd finish up at Padres camp this year and roll on out to the Diamondbacks camp and just to say hello to Torrey Lavulo. I enjoyed that conversation that much.
Because we're reasonable people.
Correct. We try to be.
We can accurately identify who are the turds and who are not the turds, and we're fair about it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Well,
like we got friends that we've had on our show whenever there's a major sports story in their city, radio friends. We don't have anybody in Phoenix. We've never we don't know anyone out there.
That's true. That's true. Well, we're 18, so that's where that's what matters today. Adam, I hope you're listening. You're welcome again for being top 20.
He's probably more excited than anybody.
It's a big accomplishment. It's really not. It's an arbitrary list, but I'm happy. I'd rather be on it than not. Now, we didn't have to buy a $500 a plate dinner to get on this list either.
True.
Which is what you have to do to get on certain other lists in town. And that's not bitter. That's not me being bitter. That's me telling you the God's honest truth. If you guys want to win awards, you need to buy this plate. I'll pass because I don't really like luncheons. I don't really like dinners. And I'm certainly not going to buy my way into some best of list. I'm just not going to do it. So if you guys, whoever voted at Barrett, thank you guys. We're very pleased and happy. I had to go to the dentist last night.
Oh, you did? Last night?
Forgot to tell you guys.
What?
Well, I blocked it out of my mind because I don't like going to the dentist. I don't know that anybody does. I do like my dentist. He's great, Dr. Skeens. Probably you've been to him. Total G. I love Paul Skeens. Dr. Skeens.
His first name isn't Paul.
His name is Greg.
Greg.
I love
Doctor.
Paul Skeens. I love Greg Skeens. You can say that. All right.
When you say last night, is this an after-hours visit or
5 p.m.
late appointment?
And I think I've hacked. I think that is the new hack.
Really? I've never been to the dentist later than
Me neither.
10 a.m. in my life.
Me neither. Never once. But I called. I have not been. I say I neglected my dental care because I didn't go to the dentist's office for over a year, right? To get like a cleaning.
It's supposed to go at least twice
a year.
Yeah.
And I've just neglected it. But I'm panicked.
Well, I remember last week we were walking out of the studio and you were kind of feeling, and you felt like, I think I might have a cavity. And I go,
it's not a cavity.
If you have a cavity, I don't know that you can feel.
Oh, yeah. You can. It's just it was sensitive.
Well, yeah. I mean, people have I have sensitive teeth all the time. It doesn't mean you have a cavity.
Well, I could tell there was like a little discoloration.
One particular spot
one little area
where it's extra sensitive, and you're like, that's a cavity.
So it wasn't, thank God. But I went in, made the 5 p.m. time. So it worked. It worked for a couple.
Do you
of
really
reasons.
want to go at the end of the day when the dentist is tired and maybe
if you have
losing focus?
If you have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old that literally beat the crap out of each other in the street after a pickup basketball game, yeah, you know what's better than that? Being at the dentist. These two dudes wailed on each other, and I mean it's normal. I just kept telling my wife, this is normal. I did it with my brother. Paul, you probably did it with your brother. You probably did it with your brother. I mean, it's just completely normal. But it was to where I was like, all right, we've now crossed the threshold of like, we're screwing around. They beat the crap out of each other in the street. They're yelling at each other. I'm like, get in the house, get in the house. So I was like, oh, I got to go to the dentist. It was great. So I got out
in a chair. Quiet.
Lay there. So I got out of 5 to 6 crunch time in my home, which is elite. Anytime you can beg off of that, it's great. I rarely do because I'm usually there for it. But I got in and I was nervous because I hadn't been in a while. And she starts,
I have major dental phobia, so I understand this.
Benny, I took a half a Xanax before I went. I am a wreck. I'm an absolute wreck laying in that chair. And my lady that does it, she's very chatty. And I don't want to chat there. If you could hit me on the head with a hammer and knock me out, that would be ideal.
I feel like dental hygienist chat, though, is such a one-way conversation because you're obviously unable to talk. There's like a skill to it they have to learn where it's kind of they're sort of talking.
No, you don't have to learn it.
You don't have to do anything. I'm with you.
Number one, I can't talk.
No,
back.
you don't have to learn. They have to learn.
No,
Like, it's
they
part of
don't.
it. They just talk.
Don't though. You don't have.
We can
to.
just sit in silence.
We can just
music, whatever.
like I'm watching The Office on my
they got the
thing.
TV in the ceiling.
So I'm watching. I'm reading the captions. I'm following
they're
along.
like doing their own show. Like, while you're there, you're a captive audience while they do their 1 hour show.
Well, then why are they asking me questions?
But I'm laying there and I'm sweating. And I'm not happy to be there. I'm nervous. Alicia says sedation dentistry is a thing. It is. I did self-sedation before I went in just to calm me down. It is. Now, again,
Loose cannabis?
she gets no, Paulie, no way. It would be the worst experience of my life ever. That's like I lost a fantasy football bet. You make me
Paranoia with someone sticking their fingers
smoke
in
one
your
of your
mouth.
joints and go and lay in that chair and just be like, "Arr!" So she gets she gets the scraper out, dude, and you're just laying there and you just hear the pick, and then she wipes, and then the pick and the scrape and you're like, and then she'll rinse you and you're like, oh, I'm done. Oh no, she's not close to done. She got to work this one and this one. She goes all around. All right, she's done finally. And then you're in the clear when they get out the polisher. And I love the polisher. Can I get a polisher for my home?
Yeah,
I want
actually my toothbrush is an
polisher.
Oral-B. It's a
I have
that circular. It's not the
I want the
tight
rubber
polisher. You want the really tight one
with the little thing,
Yeah.
and I want to, because you're done, and then you rinse, and then the doctor comes in and he goes, "Hey man, like you've been taking really good care of your teeth for the last year that you haven't been in here." I'm like, "Thank you so much." So I go, "Put me on the calendar for 6 months from now." So now I'm gonna get back in every 6 months. But
Did you
it
get
was
a sticker of some sort.
I did not get. I did get a kit, like
Okay,
a
yes.
toothbrush,
Yeah.
and floss,
Little bag.
baggie. Yeah, I insisted on the kit. But I've said it before. There's got to be a way, and I'm not trying to put my beloved Dr. Skeens out of business. With all the technology, there's got to be something that you can take. Let's say it's $10,000. You just take it, throw it in your mouth, and then throw it on the bottom. And it just, and you're like, done. And I'm done. I'm clean. I'm fresh. It gets.
Oh yeah.
I thought the same. Like
There's
when I
got to
was
be
technology-
something.
When I was a kid and just had the biggest fear of the dentist, I go, why haven't they invented some sort of like shield? And you just have to like swish it around your mouth once, and it just protects your teeth forever. The rest of your life.
Like a liquid
Teeth are
shield.
nice and white,
Yeah.
pearly white.
like a liquid
protects
reflective
it from
whatever.
anything, getting
Yeah.
into the
Coffee
crevices or
stains.
cracks.
Yes, and
It just bounces right off.
Everything bounces off. I
It
want
just-
I
it's
want
like
a force field for my teeth.
it's like the non-nutritive cereal varnish that he talks about in Christmas Vacation. He spray it on the cereal, and the milk doesn't penetrate, so it keeps it crispy. So I want that for my teeth because
Like elective surgery, essentially. Like,
yeah,
like think of like people that have gotten plastic surgery done. They're like, hey, I'm going to pay.
Oh.
It's a lot of money up front.
sealants.
Well,
people are
I think
saying.
I've had a couple of sealants in the deep grooves of the teeth to keep, getting decay in there. But like just the entire mouth, just a nice sealant for the whole thing.
like a sealant rinse that you do every day. You don't even have to brush your teeth. The rinse burns out all the cavity.
I miss
the
brushing
food.
my teeth. I like brushing my teeth.
I mean, I like it, but if I didn't have to do it, it would be great. It'd be like if I could get one haircut, I would pay $5,000 for.
Ooh.
Just give me this for the rest of my life. Permanent haircut.
And
Permanent
it just-
haircut. Permanent teeth.
It just locks it in.
locked in.
All right, that's an interesting. This is an
But what
interesting
happens
conversation
if
here.
Styles change.
Don't care.
And you're
I've had
stuck
this
with
since I was.
your one haircut
All right,
for the rest of your
let's
life.
call it a premium. $10,000. You got to save up for this.
Yeah. One haircut forever.
You can get one thing done to your body, like a grooming or anything like that. One thing, and you never have to do it again. Is it
Dentist.
haircuts
Dentist.
or dentist?
It's dentist. Like, look, here's me in 6th grade. It's pretty much the same haircut.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much the same. Like it
Your
has.
hair was lighter back then.
It was, but nothing's really changed. But I think I could go. You could get a hair.
I don't mind getting my hair.
I don't mind it, but I don't love it anymore.
I don't like the dentist. Like I don't like the eye doctor.
What about shaving?
You would think-
every day. Like
I don't
you just
shave.
have a perfect. At some point, you do, or you'd be a mountain man.
I mean, this is like 6
But
weeks of.
I know,
growth.
but you could lock it in perfectly, like whatever
oh,
you
if I
want.
could lock.
Just lock it in perfectly
That'd be pretty
on
good.
the face.
It's just look like this for the rest of your life. Like,
How
let's lock. The lock-in idea is great.
the lock-in.
The lock-in.
Right.
All right. No.
Like you.
No. We know what it is. We would lock in our perfect body.
Well,
That's what you'd lock
obviously,
in.
if you could.
Well, yeah.
You'd lock
Your
in
physique,
the perfect
physique. Oh yeah,
and that's worth anything. But the dentist, man, the dentist.
Well over 6 figures.
There's got to be something. Somebody said,
It's like you had LASIK eye surgery, and you think that's supposed to be like a lifetime thing, and it unfortunately isn't. It wears off or whatever eventually. Do you does it revert back?
Yeah, it's reverted back to like where I have to wear readers now. Probably don't want to see your old pal in 6th grade.
Carlos says one haircut forever would be so sick.
It would be sick.
I mean, haircuts you got to do, every month or so. Dentist is just every 6 months. That would save you a lot more time by not having to get the haircut every single 6 weeks or however often you go.
I wish I was tougher about laying in that dentist chair, but man, I don't. By the way, the chair broke last night.
The chair broke.
The chair, the swim, like the
dentist chair.
He had to dap me up and pull me out of the chair. I didn't do anything. I just laid there, and I've actually lost some weight. She's like, the chair broke, so I have to get some like mechanic in to fix it today. But he's all right, here, let me help you up. I had to like pull me out. Like I just got fouled in basketball and he was pulling me up off the chair.
My neck.
My back.
My neck in my back.
And so I wish I was tougher about going in there. My wife loves it. God, she's a sadist, dude. She loves the dentist. Oh, she's the most perfect.
Loves it.
She's the most perfect teeth I've ever seen. I mean, they're a dream. But like, that's because she's not afraid of the dentist. So she goes in there and look at that. There's your old pal Woodsy in 6th grade, repping a polo sweater and pretty much the same hair that I have right now.
Yeah,
and it's not too much different.
A little lighter.
Bro, that is how old are you in 6th grade? 12?
12, yeah, 11,
Yeah.
12.
38 years ago. Yeah, same thing. So there you go. Boy, I used to crush.
You can see the hint of trouble starting to form in your eyes.
That's literally when my trouble started. That's when girls started to get into the mix.
Yeah,
in
about
6th
12.
grade.
Yeah.
First time I ever French kissed a girl was like maybe a week before that. So you can see the confidence just
I
brimming.
see the confidence.
He's
in
just
the
like,
eyes.
and then
something has just changed about Woods in that picture.
6th grade, I remember
something just flipped. The switch just flipped.
After 6th grade ended, that's when you're like, okay, we've graduated or whatever from elementary school. Next stop is middle school. I remember we had a big pool party at the end of the school year, and like 12 years old, that was right about the time we were like, oh, that is a girl in a bathing suit.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, and there's the other guy that's like hit puberty 3 years ago and he's already got a 6-pack. You're like, oh, damn it, Jesse.
I had one friend named Gabe who literally had the physique of The Rock.
Yes.
When we were in 7th grade, and he was born that way. He looked like The Rock. He had full pecs, like big pecs, defined biceps, triceps, big old muscular calves. And I'm like, we do the same stuff every day. I am a whale.
Right.
I'm like he ate like crap. He just ate. But he was like, oh, let's play basketball. We'll be skins. I'm like, very cool. I had a sunken in chest. I had a sunken chest. He had, I would find a picture of him because he's still yoked. But I'm like, you haven't even had to do anything. Like, you were always like this.
My only goal when playing pickup basketball when I did it was to land shirts and not skins.
100%.
Just please draft me on the shirts.
Please pick me on the shirts team. Out there, literally, I had a sunken chest. I was like, it was horrible. But yeah, so I wish I was tougher, but Dr. Skeens makes it great. He's great. I've been going to him forever. I sent you to Dr. Skeens.
I've been there. Yeah, he's great.
A G, dude. Total G.
I need to go back.
He's such a stud. So I got that done. But I think the hack is you go later in the day and they're like, hey, I want to get out of here too. So they like I got in and out in about 40 minutes, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I got back there 7 minutes late too. So I got out about 33 minutes. I was very
you'll
pleased.
take that every time.
Every single time.
It's weird because my dentist is Dr. Scooble.
Oh, I thought you were serious. I was like, this is amazing. Skeens and Scooble. That's brilliant. No, I wish he was a relation to Paul. I don't think he is. I think
He would have mentioned it at some
there
point.
would have been a big
There'd be
signed
picture on
jersey in his office. But no, he's
knowing
he's,
you, he would have definitely said something.
Oh, guaranteed. But yeah, so I like the later in the day hack. Because I think they're trying to get out of there.
I don't like having to think about it all day, though. I like to get it over with as early in the day as possible.
I was so lucky that I forgot I had it till about 2. I didn't even mention it on the show.
No.
Right.
I forgot I had it until about 2:00. And then the panic. It was like 3 hours of panic and anxiety. But, I do that every day anyway. But excited about today's show. Very excited.
Absolutely. We'll set the menu coming up. But I think first we just have to remind everybody that at 8:00, we'll be joined in studio by the legendary Uncle Teddy. Ted Leitner is going to be with us just to, do what Teddy does. Tell stories, talk about the Padres, just spin yarns. Teddy is better at it than just about anybody I've ever met. He was fantastic at RJ's celebration of life last weekend when we went out to Petco Park, as he always is, in front of a crowd. No one can master the microphone in front of a crowd like Ted Leitner.
Yeah.
So looking forward to have Uncle Teddy. And I had him in when you were out one day, and Paulie and I enjoyed it so much, but you missed out.
So we thought 2024.
Yeah, we needed to do this, and we'd been planning it for a long time to make sure we could come in and have him with all of us together in studio. So that's the highlight of the program today, but we'll set the menu for the rest of the show. Did have some big breaking news in San Diego that I'll share with you when we come back as well. A big announcement that was scheduled for later today, but leaked out a little bit earlier. So we'll let you know about that. Coming up next, we'll get our first check of traffic with Kelly Danick live from the Bill Howe Studios. We know how. It's Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, in sports, you never rely on one angle. You watch the replay. You get a second look. Your retirement plan deserves the same attention. That's why Trajan Wealth offers a second opinion approach. TRAJANwealth.com. Their fiduciary advisors review your current strategy and help identify risks, inefficiencies, or opportunities you may not even know are there. I had plenty of opportunities out there that I was missing out on. Sometimes it's not about starting over. It's about making smarter adjustments. Trajan Wealth has offices in Carlsbad and Del Mar, and they work with people who want clarity and confidence moving forward. If you've been meaning to double-check your plan, now's a good time. Call 619-367-0207. That's 619-367-0207, or learn more at TRAJANwealth.com. Again, TRAJANwealth.com. Trajan Wealth, plan smarter, dream bigger. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth LLC, SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Just wrapping up our dentist conversation. Purple in our chat says, my dentist and TJ were very liberal with the gas. Shout out them.
Love the gas.
And it reminded me that apparently it's very common for a lot of people to cross the border for their dentistry work. In fact, I don't know if you notice when we drive out to fantasy camp or spring training, when you get close to Yuma, you will find a string of about 20 billboards in a row that are all for dentistry in Los Algodones, Mexico, which apparently is like this little town that is just loaded with dental practices.
Yeah, makes sense.
And they appeal across the border to try to get apparently the costs are better. You can get cheaper, surgeries and coverage in Mexico than you can in the United States. I've Never tried it myself, but apparently it's big enough that it's a fairly major cross-border industry. Mexican dentistry is like a huge thing, especially in that little town that's near Yuma on the other side of the border called Los Algodones, Mexico.
I do think that they should, Dr. Skeens, if you're listening, you should offer me the gas every time I come in to get my teeth cleaned. Every time. Put that little thing on your nose and you just...
I've never had the gas.
Are you kidding me?
No.
It's unbelievable. Are you kidding? It's like
Laughing gas.
Yeah, have you had it?
Not since I was a kid. Feel like it's a failure of moral turpitude if you can't get through a dental appointment without...
Well, especially a cleaning. That being said, listen, Dr. Skeens, if you're listening, you give me the gas, I'll come see you more often. How about that? Does that make sense? Yeah, it's just nice.
Yeah.
I'll come in. I'll be in every 3 weeks to get my teeth cleaned.
Paulie knows I don't need the gas.
No, he's got it. Yeah. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
All right, so that breaking news that came out this morning in a 4:15 a.m. press release designed for maximum impact on the West Coast, but pretty big news in San Diego. The LA 28 Olympic Committee for the Summer Olympics that are coming to Los Angeles in 2 years announced venues for the Olympic men's and women's soccer tournament, and they include Snapdragon Stadium in San Diego, which means San Diego will host actual Olympic events in 2028.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
For part of the LA Games that are coming up. Only time that San Diego has ever hosted any Olympics was in 1984 when the equestrian events were held at the site that is now Fairbanks Ranch Country Club in 1984. But soccer is obviously one of the premium sports in the Olympics. The men is more of an under 23 tournament. Women, of course, is big deal.
Yeah.
With the United States having won the gold medal before. They won't announce until April, like which matches are coming to Snapdragon Stadium. There's a news conference later today that I'm going to be covering, I believe, for Channel 10, just to get more details on that. But I know a lot of people in San Diego have been putting their names, your wife among them, into the lottery or however it works to try to get any sort of tickets to Olympic events. But now there's going to be something that's right here in San Diego. You won't have to go up to LA
I signed up
for it.
this morning knowing it's just down the street.
I don't think it will preclude her if she gets tickets to, LA events either. I think she'll do both. I mean, she is an an Olympics freak, like just crazy about the Olympics. I, on the other hand, am not really. So this is
an Olympaniac.
She's an Olympianiac. I mean, it's like I had to get the Oasis tickets last year, right? This is her Oasis. So she's going to. She was very excited to get that.
She just loves the rings and the
pomp and circumstance. She loves all of it. She's going to miss the opening ceremonies Friday.
The Winter Olympics start Friday this week. Yeah.
Bo's got his jogathon at school. So she has to miss it. Parental sacrifice, as it were. She's very upset. But it's also his birthday. But she is super excited when I texted her, like, hey, like there's going to be Olympic events here too. So maybe we can all go as a family, or you could just go and I'll watch the kids.
There are the Summer Olympics, like 5-10 times bigger than the Winter Olympics in terms of number of events. Has she signed up for everything?
She signed up for
table tennis, judo.
She said
Greco-Roman wrestling.
You have to add your interests, I believe, and so she had to put in what she was interested in. And I mean, if she put fencing and she gets fencing, she'll go to fencing. You know what I mean? Or if she doesn't put fencing and gets fencing, she'll go. She just wants to go. The thought of driving up to LA for the Olympics gives me such anxiety.
People talking about, the traffic's going to be a nightmare. So
it's always a nightmare.
Back in 1984, when they had the Olympics, they had that fear, and
it was okay.
There was actually they did such a good job. There was like none at all. Like people just cleared out. There was no one on the streets, and it's widely considered the best run Olympic
84
Games
was like
of all time.
Yeah. So we'll see. The thought of it to me though just makes me the surge on hotels, all that. It's just going to be insane.
It was Peter Ueberroth, who of course went on to become baseball commissioner, who ran those Olympics like a well-oiled machine in 1984. The only Olympics that they ever say were actually profitable to the city that hosted them.
That's crazy.
Usually cities spend billions on the Olympics, and it's it's a big red ink loss. But in Los Angeles, they had so many venues already, they actually made money on the 1984 Olympics.
Very excited to see Jelly Roll at the opening ceremonies in L.A. Olympics, L.A. I can't wait. You know it's
They'll be
coming.
lighting the cauldron.
Yeah, you know it's coming. I know it's coming. We all know it's coming.
As much weight as he lost, he'll be competing.
He could be competing 100%. So yeah, that's going to be really cool. She doesn't want to miss that. But no, I mean, it's great. Anytime a major event like that comes to San Diego, that's great.
All right. Quickly setting.
How do we get tickets? We have to sign up for something, or we get more info later?
They will announce in April, I believe, what specific dates and events, what round they're going to be playing in San Diego.
So we don't know much.
I think it's the same kind of lottery,
still a few months out.
Random draw system as to who's going to get the tickets. So we'll have more information later today.
There's a pre-sale on their website for locals, and it says for LA, Southern California, and OKC, but San Diego is not included in that LA county.
Perfect.
It's Orange, Orange, Riverside, and Los Angeles. So I'm not sure, because now there is an event, but that hasn't been announced really until just this morning.
Right.
The San Diego event. So I would assume if they update their website with an event in San Diego,
you should be included in the local.
San Diego zip codes should get a chance to get to that local pre-sale, but that'll be, again, that's April 2nd through the 6th.
Awesome.
Quickly setting the menu for our show today. We'll have to make some changes with Teddy coming in studio. Uncle Teddy's going to be here. Start at 8 o'clock. Of course, all guests on Ben and Woods appear on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. We will have Don't Do This. We'll have to take on Woods, possibly to our 9 o'clock hour, maybe have a late Reindl Report. And Teddy's here. We'll figure it all out, kind of in and around what we've got planned. But we will talk a little baseball. Had another three-way trade yesterday.
Man.
Some more off-season news we can get to right after a check of traffic here.
A threesome would be
97.3 The Fan.
Yeah.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. It looks like fire crews have put out that encampment fire in National City, northbound 5 near the Civic Center Drive off-ramp. And hopefully somebody got that stupid Christmas tree off the Claremont Mesa Boulevard off-ramp, north 805. Fortunately, no other problems to mention at this time. Heads up San Diego. The next long weekend is coming up. Get road ready now. Valvoline Instant Oil Change gets you in and out fast. No appointment needed. Real pros check lights, fluids, and tires with any oil change. Locations and coupons at SoCalOilChange.com. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, a 15-minute drive-through oil change. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Oh, and a reminder, we'll have more Padres spring training tickets to give away at some point in the program, so keep listening for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Peoria Sports Complex coming up later. But we did have some baseball news yesterday. It's been, basically since the start of the offseason, the St. Louis Cardinals have been intent on trading former All-Star infielder Brendan Donovan. Finally happened. He's going to the Seattle Mariners as part of a three-way trade also involving the Tampa Bay Rays. The biggest name going back to St. Louis is top pitching prospect Jurangelo Saintcha, I believe is how it's pronounced.
Nice.
I had to look that one up.
Wait for you to do it.
His, of course, claim to fame is he is the switch pitcher.
Yes.
Go both right-handed and left-handed.
Right.
Whether
Is he their top?
he's a top pitching prospect.
Yeah,
he was in the Seattle system and now heads over to St. Louis. But Brendan Donovan's a guy who kind of flies under the radar. You don't think about that much. I think it was Jeff Passan who put up a comparison of stats like the last 3 years.
Watch this.
Between him and Bo Bichette, and the numbers are identical. Bo Bichette, who just got massive contract in the offseason, and Brendan Donovan, who seemed almost untradeable for most of the offseason. They're like the same player.
Bro,
essentially.
Player A, which is Brendan Donovan, 282, 351, 420 slash line, 117 WRC plus, 7.5 F WAR. Bo Bichette, in 11 fewer games, 291, 333, 445, 116 WRC plus, and an 8 WAR. I mean,
Very close.
it's crazy. It's crazy. So I think I think that's a really good player for Seattle who fits in a lineup which is already pretty potent. It's a good deal for them. Like, you had to give up your top pitching prospect, but you got a guy that's like, He's
an AJ Preller move.
He fits.
Like, that's
I
something
wish
he
it
would
was
do.
an AJ Preller
So,
move.
well,
I wish we did it.
The Padres had a top pitching prospect. He might have.
Fair enough. Cardinals got back the guy you mentioned. They got back center fielder Ty Pete, Colton Ledbetter, 2 competitive balanced round B picks. And then the Rays weaseled their way in to grab third baseman Ben Williamson from the Cardinals, I believe.
Yes, to make it all work.
Yes.
You had what an amazing stat about the Rays and 3-way trades.
There's been 7 3-way trades in the last X number of years. They've been involved in 6 of them. So they are like the master. I was putting myself in the place of being a GM. And somebody comes to me, hey, you're interested in doing a 3-way trade? No, I have no idea. I'm going to get rooked on this, so I'm going to sit this one out. I'm going to go one team only, dude. So it's so confusing to me. I can't even imagine how it all worked. But they've been in 6 of 7 of those things. They love the 3-way. Who doesn't?
I think one upshot for the San Diego Padres is this seems to be another year in which the St. Louis Cardinals will not be competing for a playoff spot, which has traditionally been one of those teams that always is trying to stand in the way in the National League of other teams getting into the postseason. I mean, the Central right now is the domain of the Cubs and the Brewers, but the fewer teams you have going forward in the National League, the more likely it is your team will get to the postseason. And the National League's been tough. I mean, with the Braves, the Phillies, the Mets, all in their competitive window in the East. The Dodgers, obviously, Padres, Diamondbacks, and Giants all want to make the playoffs pretty much every year recently in the NL West. Cubs and Brewers going for it in the Central, and the Reds made the playoff last year. There's only 6 playoff spots in the National League. So you will have teams that are in go-for-it playoff mode that just won't make it at the end. Having the Cardinals not really be one of those for a couple of years has been a benefit to the other National League teams.
They're, again, listen, they're not going to be, if you're a Cardinals fan right now, you're in it. You are in a full-scale rebuild, tear down. But since July, if you are into things like this, and there was a time that many Padres were into things like this, I think that ship has kind of sailed. Because if you're into things like this, that means your major league team is unloading pieces. But since July, the Cardinals have added Ben. Number 2 prospect Doyle, number 7 prospect Clark, Seattle's number 7. How do you say it?
Saintja. It's CLINTJE.
No, it's CIJNTJE.
Oh, there's no L. It's an I.
No, it's not.
Saintja.
A number 9 prospect, a number 10 prospect. Seattle's number 11, a number 12, number 21, number 22. Tampa Bay's number 24, number 29 from Tampa Bay as well, I think.
Now, if they get a bunch of these right, they'll be a force to reckon with in a couple of years.
And they have like 14 picks in the next draft or something. So Chaim Bloom came in, was like, look, this is what I'm going to do. We're going to unload these bloated contracts. We are going to restock the farm. And he's done it. He's done it so far. So, again, traded Sonny Gray, Wilson Contreras, and now Brendan Donovan. And Arenado as well, or he left in free agency.
No, they traded him.
Did they trade him?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they got prospects for him back too. So he's wheeling and dealing right now. Is there anybody we need from there? That's Brendan Donovan would have been a nice fit, but is there anybody else on the Cardinals that we can pillage?
I think the problem is that
you don't have the prospects.
There's just other teams that have better and more prospects to offer right now than AJ Preller does. So he's probably going to have to address his final needs on the free agent market, which, we talked about yesterday. What he said at FanFest on Saturday is that he is still expecting to add starting pitching and offense. I think he said a pitcher or 2 and a bat or 2 and fill out the bench a little bit more before the start of the season. That's a lot to do once you've already gotten to February, and that's not going to be cheap. Even if you're shopping kind of around the bargain bin, we saw the news yesterday that Major League Baseball's average salary has climbed to about $4-point-something million. Even if you're looking around, free agents are expensive. So you try to add 4 or 5 players, you're going to have to spend another 10, 15, 20 million dollars on your roster just to fill out the pieces that you need to, you feel like, make it through a 162 game season. We're not talking about Framber Valdez.
Right.
We're talking about just guys, bodies to get in there, because free agents have leverage. They have service time. You can't sign them for the minimum. You're going to have to at least give them some, options and some bonuses and things like that. So there's still money that has to be spent by the Padres in the next month.
Give me your honest, both of you guys, give me your guess. So we've got a week till pitchers and catchers. Then how long till spring training? 3 weeks? A month? No, 3 weeks.
Well, the first game is the 20th. So we are less than 3 weeks from the first game. The first workout is just over a week.
Pitchers and catchers next Wednesday, and then everybody else a few days later.
Like 4 days later.
Your best guess. How much payroll do the San Diego Padres add from today's date, the 2nd, until opening day against the Detroit Tigers? What's your guess? Your legitimate,
$14 million.
Okay. I was going to say 10 to 15.
Okay. Well, give me a note. You said 14.
14.
All right. Paulie.
12.
I'll do $1. Like the price.
$1.
Right.
You're going to go under.
Right.
You get the bid. Yeah.
No,
everything from 1 to 12.
Gosh, man.
Now,
you see them.
The question is there still
14?
a trade in which they shed some salary as well? I don't know. Hasn't been much in terms of rumors lately about the Padres discussing anything with anybody at this point. Jake Cronenworth was one of the names that was brought up early, but
heard anything.
You got him lined up to be your starting second baseman. So unless you replace him or feel like Sungwon Song is ready to go, which I don't think anyone really does.
Bless you.
I can't see the Padres trading away Jake, and where else can you possibly save some money? So I don't think they have a choice. I think they're going to have to add somewhere in the low seven figures before the start of the season.
I just don't know who else is out there really. It's going to be a lot of guys on these $1 to $4 million deals,
but it's going to be a lot of guys.
That's the thing. You're going to sign 14 Nelson Cruzes at $1 million a pop. Is that really the deal?
No, but 7 guys at $2 to $3 million. Like, I don't know.
They'll add up.
They have a very incomplete roster right now.
Yeah.
They have no depth and question marks in the actual starting lineup.
Question marks abound for the San Diego
and rotation.
Padres and rotation,
which is true of
most
28 other teams. There's one team that has no
they're like this
question marks,
and they're
whatsoever.
Probably going to end up trading for Skubal by Friday, because Tarek Skubal has his big meeting tomorrow, the big arbitration hearing, in which again should walk in with his agent with a Cy Young award under each arm. What's up, fellas? How are you? I didn't want to leave these in the car.
You mind if I just put these here?
Yeah, can I just put these here?
They were already
16
they
apart?
were already the best team with 2 straight World Series titles that had the best and deepest starting rotation maybe we've ever seen in baseball history. And they added the best player in free agency and the best relief pitcher in free agency. The Dodgers have 0 worries going into this year. 0.
Literally 0.
I saw
Fangraphs has them at 99% to make the playoffs before a single game
before they
even
even drive out there.
We would have all said that's 100% they're making the playoffs. The number that was staggering was that they have a 28.1% chance to win the World Series, not to get it, to win it.
I think typically the favorite every year is closer to like 14% this time of year before the season starts.
They're twice as likely to win than the normal favorite is going into a regular baseball season.
That is, number one, it's crazy pressure. But
it also means that there's a 7 in 10 chance that they shouldn't win the World Series.
Right. That is nuts, man. That is nuts. So David says it's not possible to shed payroll and upgrade the team. If we're shedding, we're also downgrading. Let me think about that for a minute. You may be right, David.
I think he's right.
That's generally true. Now, from 2023 to 2024, the Padres shed a ton of payroll.
Yeah.
And got quite a bit better from one season to the next.
Yeah.
How? Still don't know exactly, how that worked out, but it is true. There are teams that go down in payroll and win more games the next year.
That's true.
It requires generally your own players playing a lot better than they did.
Yeah, it also requires having a Juan Soto chip to be able to exchange for some really good quality players.
Juan Soto.
Soto.
Fantastic. when we want to disparage him, we'll call him Juan Chodo.
we don't have that Chodo chip
No,
this
we do
year.
not have a Chodo
where,
chip.
like, yeah, you can move a Jake Cronenworth or whatever, and then get the return that Juan Soto did.
Sure, we did shed payroll with Hosmer off the books and got better, but he was not. We were not counting on his production because he was booted. Yeah, I'm interested to see. You guys have that at 14, said Ben. 12, said Paulie. I'll go a little higher. I'll say he adds $18 million before opening day. Don't know who, don't know where, but I'm gonna go pie in the sky.
So you're not going with the $1
I'm not going
bid.
with the $1 bid.
You should go 14 million and one then.
Yeah,
Lock
14
me out
million and one.
completely.
You're done.
Like,
You have to hit it on the nose.
I have to hit on the nose.
Then
There's a
I'll-
$500 bonus if I get it right on the nose, but
Someday I'll have you explain the $1 bid to me because it didn't happen every time.
well, if you're the last bidder
You're the last guy.
and the first three all seem like they've gone ridiculously high, then $1 you get everything from
Covers-
yours until the lowest bid,
the lowest
which
bid.
gives you a nice
So
wide
now
range.
you take an 18 million, I would win anything 12 million and under.
12
the
and
dumbest
under.
thing if someone bids 1,000 and you go, ooh, $999. It's
Yes,
like,
yes,
well,
yes.
okay, then you have to get it
Then you have to
exactly
get it
right.
exactly.
That's just
All right.
dumb.
Which I've seen. I've seen that.
Yes, I
That's-
saw it on my Twitter feed just yesterday.
That's something I would do.
I went out to SDFC practice yesterday. They got their first game tonight. We can talk some soccer and more next on The Fan.
Just watched a Beach Boys movie with my kids who are low-key obsessed with the Beach Boys. They love the story of the brothers and Murray, the dad, the mean dad, Brian Wilson. They just are way into it, and I like that. It's really
Todd
good.
Marinovich of music. Did
Maybe
he make them like
he was off. Like
Was
he
he?
was an
Yeah.
awful dude.
and the sound is just so compelling.
And you just watch them and how Brian all right, you do this, and they all just came together. It was just perfect. Just a perfect sound in my ears, man.
Love it.
Right,
I had to grow into the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Obviously, they were before
Oh.
I was born.
Paulie, I
But,
hated them when I was a little kid.
What?
My dad played it all the time in the car. I thought it was.
They weren't.
I listened to Poison. I was like, this is lame. Oh,
They
who's
weren't
the
a big
lame one?
player in my house, but the only exposure I would have to them it was Kokomo and Surfing USA.
Garbage.
Like, two of the
Just
worst
garbage.
songs of all time.
Surfing USA is pretty good, but
Yeah,
Kokomo's
fair enough.
Trash.
But, like, that was like the only exposure I had. I'm like, they're okay. I mean, whatever. I'm not into it.
You love Kokomo. Look at him.
Bermuda, Bahama.
I mean, I
You
love,
love
I
it.
love
You
songs
love it.
that list geography, which is both of
100%.
Surfing USA and Kokomo.
Santa over the answer.
Okay, so and Kid Ben loved that he knew all those places that they were listing in a song that everybody knew. Like you're listening to this song wherever in the world,
Redondo
and they're
Beach. I
talking
know
about
that is.
catch him surfing at Del Mar. It's
Yeah.
like I know all these places.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
See, when I was a kid, it was like I live in Texas. I want to be there where they're talking about the girls and the waves and all these
Yeah.
cool beaches, and I
right.
love it.
Now,
I
Ray
love
in the
it.
chat says hot take: Beach Boys greater than the Beatles,
Man, I loved their
and people are agreeing.
dynamic. Those two groups, Brian always wanting to up the Beatles, and the Beatles going, we have to beat the Beach Boys, and trying to raise their game. It just made music
Healthy
so much.
competition.
Oh, it made music so much better back in the day. Now Jelly Roll trying to outdo Teddy Swims, who's trying to outdo Post Malone. This is the legacy we're leaving for our children. So keep up the great work, guys. Keep it up. It's fantastic. Fantastic. So good. Yeah, Brian Wilson duking it out with Paul McCartney and John Lennon. And they're trying to raise the game. And now we have Jelly Roll and Post Malone and Teddy Swims. Just like, hey, who can sound like the bigger putts? It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. Sorry for my rant.
That's okay. Broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. It's Ben and Woods, hour number 2. Uncle Teddy going to join us an hour from now in studio. Looking forward to that. 2 things on tap tonight, though, in San Diego. I mean, we could always use more sports, but somehow when we do have them, they like to do them all at the same
They
time.
really do. And it's like,
Can we not?
they do this to us all the time. You're like, man, it's like this desolate desert of nothing. And then they're like, here's 4 events that you're going to want to watch.
So we've got San Diego State basketball against Wyoming tonight at 7:30 as they try to bounce back from Saturday's loss at Utah State. Must route game kind of against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Just keep your form going and hopefully get closer to getting 100% healthy as you get later in the season. But that's 7:30 tip, and then late start tonight, 8:00 at Snapdragon Stadium for SDFC's. Yeah, I would call this the season opener, even though the MLS schedule doesn't begin for 3 more weeks. This is their first game that means something. It's the opening game of the CONCACAF Champions Cup, which is an international tournament that is pretty exclusive. You have to win your way into the tournament. SDFC got there by virtue of their first place finish in the Western Conference in MLS last year. So only, a handful of the top MLS teams plus some of the top teams from Liga MX, which is the Mexican top league, and then some Central American teams are in this tournament, which is 2 games. You get a home game against Pumas tonight, and then a road game in Mexico City next Tuesday. And then whoever advances, either winning them both or if they split them, that'll go to aggregate goal total of the 2. Moves on to the second round and another tough matchup against another Mexican league team. So we talked to Craig yesterday and he said that, some places say SDFC is a slight favorite.
Yeah.
Mike Ivarez yesterday went to practice. He and goalkeeper Pablo Cisniega spoke to the media about the game. And one of the questions was, is this a tough spot for you? Because, and Craig mentioned this as well, Pumas, the team they're playing, has already started their season. They're 2-0-2, 2 wins, 2 ties. So they're off to a hot start in their Mexican League season, whereas this is essentially the first game at all. They've played a couple of closed-door scrimmages for SDFC, but this is their first real game. So, yes, they have a lot of same players back, but they haven't been playing. It's almost like a spring training game, but it means something now for SDFC. And he said, we're not in rhythm like they are, which is going to be tough. But it wasn't that long ago that we were all together, and we've been training really well for the last 3 weeks. And he, as Mikey is, he says, we're going to go and try to win this game. We know that we're also preparing for a longer haul and a season that's coming up, but we take the pitch, we try to win. And that's always been Mikey Varis's strategy. And he was very clear that, it just because it's not an MLS game, we're not taking this lightly. We're not doing this as let's give some of our younger players a chance to work their way in. This is not an exhibition game. It is a very real game for SDFC tonight.
Cool. Yeah, excited to check it out. I'd like to be able to stay up a little later to watch it, at least put it on and see what it looks like, because it's wild, man. It did grab me last year a lot, and found myself like tuning into games, and it's just not a sport that I was ever really watched on television before. And something about that team captivated me. And obviously I think Mikey Varis is a big part of it. So I feel like he'll have these guys ready to go. But like you said, man, they're kind of getting their feet wet tonight. But they were getting their feet wet all the last season, and they went out and won a bunch of games early. So
I made a slight error, and I was pointed out in the chat, and I checked. It is true. The SDSU game is also at 8:00 tonight, not 7:30. So
I thought they were both the same.
Both
time.
of them at the same time.
Yeah.
That is correct. They are both at 8:00 tonight. So
okay, one on the
stay up
TV, one
late.
on the phone.
Yeah, well, you'll be asleep.
I'll be asleep.
Yeah.
Who am I kidding?
Maybe you'll get the first half of the first half.
I've got my men's league game at
those games.
7:05 or 7:10, so that'll go right up until 8:00.
You can listen.
I'll listen on the drive home and catch it whenever I get out of the shower and get in bed.
Obviously, it'll be Pablo Cisniega in net for SDFC tonight. CJ Dos Santos is still recovering from the broken face that he suffered. And
is he out there?
He's there.
Okay.
Mikey said you got to ease him back in. That's one of those where you've got to be really careful and make sure he's comfortable and confident. You getting shots drilled at you at high speed. You don't want to have any hesitation, like, watch out for my face. You got to be pretty 100% before he comes back. So for now, Cisniega is the guy, but Cisniega had some good performances last season when CJ was out. Before that, he got a couple of opportunities, and he had some good matches as well. So he'll be the starting goalkeeper. And again, Chucky Varis is still on, or Chucky Lozano is still on the team. Mikey Varis not going to play him. I mean, he's been very clear about that, but they have not been able to find a new home for him. So I don't know if he'll actually be there tonight, or,
Has he been at practice?
Yeah, but he doesn't practice like with the team. He's like practices sort of on the side on his own and just trains, but it's weird. It's a weird situation.
Mikey was on our show, a week and a half ago? He could not have been more direct and clear that his time here is up.
That's it.
His time here is up.
No one disputes that Chucky Lozano is a phenomenal international level player. But it's weird. Like, okay, we have this phenomenal player. Be like saying, Fernando Tatis Jr., you're here, but we're not going to play you.
He's off taking fly balls by himself on the backfield
until we can find a place to trade you to.
Irving will not be part of our plans, though, and we made that very clear to him and to his representatives, and that won't change.
It's so
not going to change.
That was two or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, Satan's Blowfish is training solo, it seems. Well, the team is on the main practice field pretending he does not exist. The worst.
It's crazy.
But for his case, he's still under contract. So it's probably like, well, I'm going to be there every day. I'm going to make it very uncomfortable for you guys. And just come get my work and go.
I mean, that's what he's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Job,
I'm not going to say that Chucky's doing anything wrong. They've asked him to continue working on the side. He's also, staying active on his social media and being in San Diego. He's putting a little pressure on SDFC, which is, I'm sure, part of strategy that his team has kind of developed. Like, hey, you can't stick me in a corner forever. If you can't find somewhere for me to go to, you can't just end my career by
Correct.
putting me on a
Right.
shelf forever. So they're going to have to make a decision at some point. I mean, they may have to eat more money at some point. You're going to find somewhere that wants Chucky Lozano. There's teams that will take him, but they may not want to take as much of the salary as they wanted. Which, that's, I'm sure SDFC is trying to hold out. Like, we're giving you a superstar player. You also want him for next to nothing. It's like, but do we have any other choices?
They're like, but yeah, he's a problem for you. So why are we going to give you top dollar for your?
They painted themselves into a bit of a corner.
A bit of a corner. Yeah, interesting.
Which is
interesting.
Which is sometimes what happens when you have people who are, what's the word I'm looking for? People who have a set of values that they stick to.
Yes.
And believe in. You sometimes put yourself in a tough position.
Correct.
It's easy to compromise. And we see it all the time in sports. See it all the time.
See it all the time in life.
You sign a problematic player, but he's going
to be different.
He's perfect. Well, but you just go, but he's perfect for what we need. He's the exact kind of, performer that we need. He plays the position we need. He's really good. We will put up with other things because we need it. And, Mikey Varas and that culture that they have established is, no, it is our way. We are going to do this our way. And if you're not on board with our program, then, we are going to, even to our own detriment, make decisions that follow through with what we believe in.
It's amazing to me that, again, we don't know what the market out there is for him, but we assume that there is one. Wouldn't you just, at this point, take, all right, fine. Yeah,
it's not as good of a package as we wanted, but
we biffed this. Yeah. It's on us. This is a mistake. It's going to cost us money. The Anthony Rendon, right? Like, not saying he's like that.
It's still crazy to see it play out, but like Chucky had this reputation, right?
Yeah,
like, he had a reputation, I should say.
Sure.
Because I know I remember that was a big deal when they signed him, but there were a lot of people going like,
ooh, how's this going to work?
I don't know.
And I wouldn't even say like it was a bad reputation. He's the reputation that many international superstar soccer players have.
Yeah,
sure.
He had that. Right.
Just so like put it a different way, this whole situation feels kind of crazy to see it play out, but maybe not super unexpected.
Right. So it's just it's an odd thing. And again, Satan's Blowfish says, yeah, and if things don't go really well right away for SDFC this season and Chucky still
just sitting there
at training, then you've opened yourself up to the criticism of we have a really good player and you're not playing.
But I don't know. The Frontera SD and the fan support is so behind Mikey and his methods that I think they'll stand by the team.
I do too.
Over Chucky. I do. I think that they have won the PR battle in their first year.
Yeah.
Through a combination of their decisions and their success in their first season. That at least at this point in the honeymoon phase, I'm not sure that Tyler Heaps and Mikey Varas can do anything wrong in the eyes of their dedicated fans right now.
Right.
You can always question a strategic decision or two, but ultimately this fan base believes in those guys so much.
We're rocking with those guys,
that they're going to just roll with it. And I don't, in that case, I don't think that Chucky Lozano is going to have any like community, like, oh, they're dying to have me back. No, they believe in the Mikey Varas method.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you at all, but I will say I have seen people in our chat, even like over the last few weeks, there are more than a few people going like, man, you guys are giving Varas way too much credit.
Yeah,
I think they screwed this whole situation up. And that's their opinion. I don't, I'm kind of just watching from afar, but there are more than a few people. I don't think you could just like say, oh, they're just trolling or something. And there's legitimately a portion of the fan base that does feel that way.
Yeah, it's a minority, but they are there. I mean, every sports team is going to have their critics, and even Mikey Varas is going to have his haters.
100%.
We've drank the Kool-Aid from Mikey. We don't know soccer that well, but he has won us over with his directness, his honesty.
I feel like there's nothing he couldn't coach.
I know you feel that way, and I'm kind of drinking from the same trough.
Yeah.
Of
the Kool-Aid trough.
The Kool-Aid trough of Mikey Varas.
Yeah.
Now they will have a bad season at some point.
They will.
There's no sport in which you can always have success. They probably will have tough moments this year as well without Chucky. They're missing a dynamic speed goal scoring element that every soccer team needs, right? They're going to be missing some of that. So how much will it hurt them to not have him? And will that lead to more questions later on? But right now, I think SDFC is on extremely solid footing.
Yeah.
With where they are at the moment.
Should be fun tonight. 8 o'clock. Check it out. And I hope to stay up for 10, 15 minutes. I really get tired, man. These kids wear me out. I'm sorry. I'll do the best I can.
Don't forget to tune in to 97.3 The Fan beginning next week for Sam Levitt's coverage live from Padres spring training in Peoria, presented by David P. Shapiro Criminal Defense Attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com every day. Sammy spring training going to be with us from Peoria, Arizona. And while we're doing that, why don't we give away some tickets right now to the Peoria Sports Complex? We got a 4-pack of tickets to a Padres spring training game for the 5th caller at 833-288-0973. And you'll qualify for a shot at the grand prize, 4 tickets to a Padres Giants game at Petco Park on April 1st as well. Get your spring training tickets now at peoriabaseball.com. All right, we'll come back, play a little or do a little Don't Do This when we return. Why is one NBA coach calling himself an idiot? Get to that and more after a check of traffic on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, SDFatLoss.com has a brand new February special for everyone who's still thinking about losing weight in 2026. It's not too late to get started and lose up to a pound of fat per day and 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 60 days. That means by that game I was just telling you about, you could be down 10, 20, 30, even 40 pounds. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days. So I know it is very possible. And it is not only possible to lose the weight, it is possible to keep the weight off with their maintenance plan, because it's all based on real foods that you're eating, normal stuff, not shakes or bars or prepackaged meals. Much more sustainable than some of the other programs that I have done. I've kept my weight off almost 3 years. Sign up today, get a free consultation, talk to a great counselor at sdfatloss.com. And then if you sign up, $200 off the program here in the month of February. It's never too late to start feeling better, looking better, just looking in the mirror and going, all right, I like what I see. It's just such a great feeling after being years of overweight and trying to figure out how to get that weight off. This was the difference maker for me. It can be the difference maker for you with no injections and no exercise necessary at sdfatloss.com. That's sdfatloss.com. Results may vary.
player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Don't Do This, brought to you by Dixie Line Lumber and Home Centers, helping San Diego homeowners and contractors fix it, build it,
And enjoy it.
Congratulations to Katie, I believe.
Yes.
Katie won our spring training tickets. Thank you for calling in. We'll have another 4-pack to give away tomorrow. I will start DDT in the NBA last night. Looked like a fairly harmless play. The Charlotte Hornets hosting the New Orleans Pelicans. Ooh, that's a barn burner in the NBA. The Hornets actually had won, I think, 6 or 7 in a row early in the game. It's like 9-4, 2.5 minutes in. Charlotte's bringing the ball up the court. And a little miscommunication as a bounce pass is going to no one. It's going to go straight out of bounds to the Charlotte Hornets bench. Guy cut the wrong way.
Sure.
It happens in basketball. Coach Charles Lee of the Charlotte Hornets is standing in front of his bench like he normally does. He sees it going about 3 feet to his right, and he thinks, I'll just grab it before it bounces way out of bounds, where it's going to be a turnover anyway.
Yeah.
What he did not see, though, was his own player, LaMelo Ball, coming from the other direction, trying to save the ball. And as they both lean their heads down at the same time and just go smack right head to head.
Oh. Did LaMelo leave his feet?
They're both, LaMelo was diving, and the coach was just going down
to pick it up,
grab it, and they just both
speared him in the head.
They just both speared each other in the head.
I'm gonna put it up on the.
Fortunately, LaMelo would be okay and return to the game, and they did win. Charles Lee was very apologetic after calling himself very foolish move by me. He said took a play off, can't do that. That's just dumb.
Oh, God.
It was just a bad moment on the sideline. But they just nailed straight into each other. And LaMelo was very forgiving.
There we go. Oh, God. Oh, God. I just saw it. Jesus. Oh, man.
Lee turned it into a bit and wore a hard hat into his post-game news conference. Yeah, but
Oh, God.
His life flashed before his eyes as he sees him writhing on the ground. Like, oh, God.
I'm going to get fired for this.
I mean, bro, it's full speed, head to head, face to face. Oh, and you just, if you're a coach, you just move out of the way. Just stay out of the way.
There's no reason to do that. But, you see a basketball coming, instincts kick in. And he thought, I better just grab that.
Bro, that was way harder than you described it even. I mean, that was like, this could have been severe.
It could have been really bad.
Jeez. All right. Well, listen, now sources report to ESPN that they're going to hold Robert Kraft's feet to the fire as well and not elect him into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He was also a first-time Hall of Fame finalist this year. Did not get enough votes from the 50-person selection committee. Joining his longtime head coach, Bill Belichick, is, again, I think being punished for Spygate, Filmgate, all of the gates they had, and then he had a different gate as well that they found out about.
Oh, Bob, it's just kid stuff.
Do you believe? I got a couple points here, though. Do you believe, in general, owners should ever be in a sports Hall of Fame?
Sure,
you do.
Yeah,
I am.
Yeah, just as much as any other. Yeah, why not?
Because GM they put
executives into the Hall of Fame.
In the Hall of Fame. Well, and those executives be tough to do as well as they did without ownership, right?
Wouldn't that be the same for anybody on the team?
I guess to me it depends on how active you are as an owner. Just owning the team in and of itself.
Well, they don't put everyone in.
They don't, but
Bob Kraft should probably be in.
Well, if you're putting owners in, Bob Kraft should be in just as much as Bill Belichick should be in for all the championships.
Jerry Buss be in the NBA Hall of Fame?
They won.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
Yeah, Jerry Buss changed the entire course of the Lakers.
But honestly, I mean, as an owner, your job is just to provide money to the people who are running your team usually. Now, there are some like Jerry Jones, very, very active owner. He's also his own general manager. But most owners take more of a backseat role, just managing, just owning the team. They're not athletes. They don't make day-to-day decisions about their team.
Sure they do.
Some do, but most don't, I don't think.
I mean, I think they make the ultimate decisions on their team. The ultimate.
Right.
They delegate a lot, but I think they make the
buck stops with them.
The buck stops there. I don't know. I'm not openly shilling for owners here. Peter Seidler. Peter Seidler stays around, and he's alive, and he continues to own the San Diego Padres. Is he a Hall of Famer? I think it's also,
if the Padres had three World Series titles in the Peter Seidler era, like he would be in that discussion for a Hall of Fame spot.
Satan's Blowfish might have changed my mind. Dodgers ownership board should be first ballot by this logic. We're going to put in investment groups, LMAO.
Exactly.
All right, fine. Keep them out. Keep them all out.
I mean, the best thing you can do as an owner is be really, really, really rich.
Yeah, be
like
really
the
rich.
Richest owners tend to be the most successful ones.
Yeah, stay out of the way.
And they didn't make their money in sports. They made their money somewhere else and then put that money into their teams, and we can praise them for that, but actually put them into a sports Hall of Fame for that.
All right, fine. I may be swayed.
I'm just asking the question. I understand that they're going to be honored. I mean, they're the ones making the decisions. The people going into the Hall of Fame all got paid by these people, so they know where their backs are scratched.
Well, then why are we putting any executives in? Because they didn't play.
No, I mean, I could live with an argument that Hall of Fames are for players only. You could have
I could live with that, I guess.
Separate coaches Hall of Fame, maybe.
What about coaches?
Coaches,
yeah. Coaches, yes.
Well, yeah. Once you go to coaches, then you go, well, then general managers, obviously, because they're the ones,
who hired the coach.
Never ends. Then the owner, because he hired the general manager, at some point. Does it end?
You think they're punishing him for the
well, I think
parlor?
I think you can, if you know you're not letting Bill Belichick in, then you can't let Robert Kraft in at the same time. That would make no sense whatsoever. So in a sense, even though Kraft and Belichick, they hate each other, right? I mean, they kind of try to hide it sometimes,
Yeah, I think
but
so.
I think
I don't think it ended
deep down they kind of
ceremoniously.
hate each other. And I don't know if Kraft was kind of happy that Bill Belichick didn't get in, but it may have also cost him a chance at getting in at the same time, because if one doesn't go in, I don't think the other one can go in either.
That's fair.
So they just both stay out for this year.
Okay.
And eventually probably both get in. Certainly with Belichick. Kraft, though, is a little more urgent in terms of
age.
Yes.
Well,
don't know what's going to happen.
You know what?
Another year.
Nothing's promised to anyone. So there you go.
Yeah. All right. Finally, a little do this.
DD mega do.
Already passed along the story earlier, but thought we'd revisit it if you missed our first hour. The Olympic Games coming to San Diego.
Look at us,
the
big
2028 Summer Olympics. One event only, but the soccer competition, it was announced this morning in a release from the LA 28 Olympic Committee that Snapdragon Stadium will host at least some soccer games. They have not specified like which games, men's, women's, is it the quarterfinals, semifinals, whatever, but apparently in the summer of 2028, the games will migrate down a little bit from Los Angeles. Games will be played in San Diego. They also spreading it around a little bit to soccer stadiums around the country in New York, Columbus, Nashville, St. Louis, and San Jose as well. So you got multiple teams, can't play them all at the same time in the same stadiums in Los Angeles. So San Diego will be one of the alternate sites for Olympic action in 2028. Olympic City.
Yes.
Who said we were just a sleepy little beach town?
Sleepy little beach town. Not anymore.
Olympics here. How about that?
Love it.
That's Don't and Do This for a Tuesday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Don't forget, we got Uncle Teddy, Ted Leitner, a legendary voice of the Padres, San Diego State, and more. Going to share stories of all his time with us coming up at 8 o'clock. Don't go anywhere. More Ben and Woods on the way on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
That is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
We're just talking about the Olympics coming to San Diego in 2028, the soccer tournament at Snapdragon Stadium. Of course, the Winter Olympics get underway this Friday, opening ceremonies from Italy. And just breaking news in just now, Lindsey Vonn, you probably saw the crash she had a few days ago. It is confirmed. Lindsey Vonn, who was in her second year of a comeback after a 5-year retirement, 41 years old, tore her ACL last Friday. But says she's still going to compete at the Olympics anyway.
Like it. Love it.
The
Olympics like this weekend?
Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah.
The old Philip Rivers.
I mean, next week, I think. Yeah.
Kobe Bryant, right?
How can you can't ski at a world-class level with a torn ACL?
No. You can't.
Well,
ski
I know I can't. I can't ski at any level 100% healthy.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's impressive. The determination that Lindsey Vonn is showing is very impressive, but seems physically impossible.
Yeah.
Right?
Skiing seems like it takes its toll on your knees.
I thought of it.
Feels like you need a lot of stability in that part of your body, not a completely torn ACL.
I would think so.
When I went skiing last year and I hadn't skied in over a decade, I was waiting for my ACL to snap. Every time I took a turn, I was like, here it comes. Here it comes. I can't even imagine how you even come to that conclusion of, I think I could still go.
When you have yourself, she's been gearing up for this moment. I mean, I'm sure the World Cup events and the regular competitions are important, but when you're a Winter Olympian and you are a skier or a figure skater or a bobsledder or a luger,
No,
There's
you're
only-
a loser.
There's only one thing that truly matters to the world, and it only happens once every 4 years. And if you are just happen to be hit by misfortune right before that, it's like, oh, what do I wait until I'm 45 to do this again? I mean, the timing could not have been any worse. So I understand, like, I don't have any choice. I got to keep going through, but you have only one chance every 4 years to really show your stuff on the world stage to an audience that is going to be global and is going to care about what's going on. And I mean, you think about these Winter Olympics events. It's especially the Winter Olympics. I mean, summer, the sprinting, it comes down to hundredths of a second coming down a mountain or a bobsled run. And you usually get one, maybe two chances at most every 4 years to really prove yourself, to make your legacy. And it comes down to one tiny slip, one slight skid on the skis, a bobble on the landing of a figure skating jump where you get a 1/10 of a point deducted, and your whole life is unfortunately defined by a split-second moment that can happen once at most every 4 years. It's cruel when you think about it.
She skied today. And wore a brace and said, no, I'm going, and I'm just going to wear a brace. The thought of it makes me it makes it hurt, It's just like, oh God, I can't even imagine. But again, I mean, it's her life. It's her career. Like better to try. And if I think I can go,
Sunday,
I can go. I appreciate that.
Downhill. So, the fastest one, Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
9 days after tearing her ACL, she's going to be rocketing down an Italian mountain.
She is tougher than I could ever imagine.
And I don't even know how fast they go, but like as fast as like a car goes down, I'm sure. That's crazy.
Was that a completely worthless event she was in last week too? Like, was that?
No, it was a real World Cup event.
But she was
an exhibition, but
trial run or whatever.
But she didn't need to be there, right? She just wanted to do it to stay sharp.
She'd already qualified for the Olympics.
It's kind of a heartbreaker.
It is.
Yeah, she says, quote,
it's gonna be tough to watch.
She said, I'm gonna do it. End of story. It's like when
we're all gonna be watching, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Remember when Boobie Miles in Friday Night Lights goes down and he thinks he can come back, and they put that brace on him and he sits 6 weeks or something, comes back for Permian and Friday Night Lights and makes that first cut with that knee brace on.
Oh, you can hear it
done.
crack.
Yeah, it's done. It's over. And it just makes you sick to your stomach, breaks your heart.
Yeah.
But he was a kid. She's 41 years old. She's done it. Like, she doesn't need to do this, but I do appreciate the toughness and the saying, I'm not quitting. I'm going to try this. So, yeah, she has titanium replacements in her knees already. Like, she retired from all of this, and she just, for whatever reason, there's something unfulfilled in her that she wants to try it. So, man, that's tough.
All right, we'll check traffic. Ted Leitner coming up at the top of the hour. We can do a little off-season NL West review. Got grades in for moves by all 5 NL West teams from The Athletic. Go over that next here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
This traffic report is brought to you by Frozen Ropes baseball and softball training facilities. Get a little busier on our roads now. A stalled car in middle lanes northbound 5 near the 54. Looks like that may have been cleared by now. Get reports of a possible brush or encampment fire northbound side of the 163 before Washington Street. It's over the right shoulder. Collision involving a motorcycle, South 805 Balboa Avenue off-ramp, and 2-vehicle accident on the Black Mountain Road on-ramp to West 56 there over to the right shoulder. Register for Frozen Ropes Baseball Summer League with 8 games and 8 practices for ages 6 through 12 and receive $100 off your registration fee at SanDiegoFrozenRopes.com. That's SanDiegoFrozenRopes.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Yeah, so The Athletic went out and gave grades to every team in their offseason. And this isn't just the free agent and trades, but also, hires and other moves. So
Sure.
it's an overall grade for
overall.
what they've done in the offseason. Tim says, wonder how the Rockies did. Well, let's start with the Rockies. They got a C+
Okay.
for their moves. Free agent additions, Willie Castro got a 2-year deal for $12.8 million, and right-handed pitcher Michael Lorenzen got a 1-year deal for $8 million. They also made some trades, acquiring outfielder Jake McCarthy from the Diamondbacks, and a couple of other smaller moves. But the takeaways from the Athletic were the hiring of Paul DePodesta and Josh Burns to kind of change the direction of their organization. I can almost grant them that the Colorado Rockies are trying something different, and they needed to try something different more than any other team. We've heard, from Buddy Black that they're starting to invest more in some of the, things that other teams have long been investing in, technologies and, a more advanced look at the game metrically. So maybe heading in the right direction, but obviously not going to be competitive this year.
You remember the article that had dropped maybe a week before Buddy came on, and it was really quite damning about the Colorado Rockies and the guys that had been in that building for 25 years that would literally scoff at, it was crazy to me. Like, it never registered with them, like, maybe we should get rid of these binders of notes and put stuff onto a computer and have cameras and maybe we should stop doing things from the 70s and join the revolution here, as it were. But not only were they slow to adopt, they mocked it, as every other team in baseball has continued to adapt and adjust, and they just hadn't. So it's good to hear that they're doing things a little bit. You got to crawl before you can walk. It's going to be a while, but
still, of course, predicted for 5th place. They have a long way to go. Predicted for 4th place with a grade of D+ in their offseason so far, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Their key moves: they've brought back right-handed pitcher Merrill Kelly on a 2-year, $40 million deal. Added right-handed pitcher Michael Soroka on a 1-year, $7.5 million deal, and a small deal for catcher James McCann. They also acquired Nolan Arenado in a trade with the St. Louis Cardinals and a couple of other small moves. According to The Athletic, Diamondbacks had a rough offseason. They consider the only significant move the Merrill Kelly deal. Nolan Arenado, they feel like with declining production, is not going to add much, and they picked him to finish in 4th place.
Now, I feel like Michael King's obviously a much better re-edition for the San Diego Padres, but they added Arenado, who again declining. If they got a what? D+?
D+.
All right, I'm interested to see what the Pods got.
All right, picked to finish in 3rd place with an off-season grade of a B, solid B. The San Francisco Giants. They've been a lot more active free agent-wise. Tyler Mahle, 1-year, $10 million contract, right-handed pitcher. Also, Adrian Hauser, a 2-year, $22 million deal for a righty, as well as Harrison Bader, got 2 years, $20.5 million to take over center field. And just now, Luis Ariz over the weekend, 1 year, $12 million. So they have spent on, kind of sprinkled it around on different free agents. A couple of smaller trades, and of course the big hiring, Tony Vitello as the new manager of the San Francisco Giants. So, taking a step forward, but according to The Athletic, still only gets them to 3rd place in the NL West.
Okay. And they got that must mean that the Dodgers, are in 2nd place, and the Padres have been picked to win the division.
Well, picked to finish in 2nd place by The Athletic.
Always the bridesmaid, buddy.
With a grade of B- in the offseason.
What?
Your San Diego Padres.
B-.
The only free agent moves, Michael King obviously re-signed on his deal, Sung-Moon Song, and Kyle Hart returning on a 1-year, $1 million contract. Craig Stammen, the manager.
Michael King really helped that curve.
It really is.
Helped
they said finding a way to re-sign starter Michael King is what lifted their grade to a B-. And the question is, can rookie manager Craig Stammen lead his team back to the postseason? The answer, according to The Athletic, is probably yes. With a 2nd place finish would put them in good position to return to the postseason in October.
Would you have given them a B-? Because I will be honest with you, I don't. As much as I
at this point,
excited,
I think it's still more of like a C.
I was going to say the C.
Michael King was great.
He was great,
and even unexpected. Like, I don't know that we thought they would get him back. So that
now again
felt big, but again, he was already on the team, so it's hard to give them as much credit as you normally. There's no reason not to. Michael King was a free agent.
He was
like any other
guy,
free agent in baseball, and they
could have signed a $30 million.
They landed him. Yep. So it's not really fair to not give them credit for that, but we tend to dismiss it just because he's a returning player. But that shocked a lot of the baseball world that the Padres were able to get that done. They didn't think they would, which gives them, I think, extra credit in the minds of a lot of people.
This is Jim Bowden's
Yeah.
stuff.
From The Athletic.
Purple said, yeah, we haven't talked about the Fangraphs odds yet. D-backs have higher World Series odds, as do the Giants. They don't believe as much.
From last night, when I went on Fangraphs, the Padres had a 21.4% chance of making the playoffs.
Make the playoffs.
This morning, it's 21.1%.
What happened? What did we do?
What happened overnight?
Don't know.
Oh, no.
And then finally, picked to finish in first place with an offseason grade of
A+.
A+. The Los Angeles Dodgers.
Paulie,
highlighted, of course, by the Kyle Tucker, Edwin Diaz signings. Miguel Rojas also back on a $5.5 million deal. Haven't really made any significant trades, but of course they don't need to.
I didn't know that. They traded Estuary Ruiz.
They did.
Who was a former Padre, speedster, for Adriano Marrero from the Marlins. So I've never heard of him, but I'm sure he'll pitch to a 1.36 and get huge outs in the playoffs. But Paulie said it too, and I saw this. This is what infuriated me yesterday. A Dodger fan. The news came out that Edwin Diaz is going to pitch in the WBC. Now, remember, he blew out his knee, just ruined his season for the Mets. Couldn't pitch. A Dodger fan actually tweeted yesterday, "Oh my God, I forgot we signed him." And I went, "All right, that's it for me. I'm out of here. You got so many good players. You spent so much money. You forgot you added Edwin Diaz for 3 years and $69 million."
I
that's
told
what
you guys
said.
this morning.
I forgot
had
it
totally
too.
forgotten. Like I saw a quote, or hey, Dave Roberts or Andrew Friedman was asked about Edwin Diaz in the World Baseball Classic. I go, well, what the hell do they care what he does? And I go, oh my God, they signed Edwin Diaz too.
See, like I'm on Fangraphs right now, and it says the Padres have a 40% chance of making the playoffs. Currently on Fangraphs.
What year are you looking
playoff
at?
odds 2026 standings?
I think you're looking at 23.
40%.
I see 21.1 under make playoffs.
I've got under make playoffs 40.0%, wild card 37.8, buy in the first round 1.8, win the World Series 1.3%.
I think you're on the wrong.
Dodgers are at 28.1%, 99.5. I mean, everything else is right. I don't know. They have the Padres. It's Fangraphs.com playoff odds. I don't think 21% sounds right to me. That sounds way too low. 40 sounds much more accurate. Can someone give me some clarity on why that number is different? I don't know. All right, we'll come back. Ted Leitner scheduled to join us in studio. Coming up next, more Bennett Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, my friends, we are halfway home on a Tuesday. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. What an honor it is to have the great Uncle Ted Leitner joining us in studio. Paulie's here, Benny's here, and of course, to my right, stories have already started. He sat down 5 minutes ago, and we're already cranked up. Uncle Teddy, welcome to the program.
Guys, it's so great to see you.
It's good to have you.
I listened, but I to get to see you in person again. And I haven't seen Ben since, the playoffs?
Yes, we were out at Bub's at the ballpark, I think.
Woodsy, since he was maybe 6, 7 years old. I recall. I've known his family. We go way back.
That's right.
We go way back. And so it's just so great to see you, man.
Good to see you.
It's awesome. I'm sitting in front of a microphone. I have headphones on. I feel like I'm what do they call that? A broadcaster.
Yeah, it feels natural, right?
Oh, man, do I miss that. This is so great.
It's great to have you. You're welcome anytime, by the way.
I appreciate that. I do. And you shouldn't say that because you'll get
We'll put you to work.
I will literally put you to work.
You'll get off the elevator and say, oh, gosh, he's here again. Come on, can we change the lock on the door? Whatever it takes to get rid.
Ted and Ben and Woods has a nice ring to
Ted
it.
and Ben and Woods, yes. Ted, Ben and Woods sounds really, really good.
Benny Teddy Woods.
I love it. I'll take the last. I'll bring up the rear. It's not a problem.
Before we do anything else, I just want to say what you said at Randy's celebration of life. And I know you were winging it like you always do, but man, I just enjoyed hearing your stories about RJ, and you still captivate a crowd like none other. I'm always in awe of how you can do that, and how you did it at Tony's, and how many times you've had to do that, unfortunately, in San Diego. But man, still, Jerry, you've still got the gift of gab, and we all appreciate it.
I really appreciate that. I do. And yeah, you're right. I went on channel, where was I? On 51, and Paul Rudy did the interview, and I've known Paul forever since he was sports. Now he's a morning guy. And he says, and same thing he said to me. He said, would you do me a favor? Sure. Would you do my eulogy?
Yeah,
and I thought, I'm becoming the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
I said, Paulie, it'll be like I'll show up at a friend's house and they'll think, oh, crap, am I sick? Am I
Teddy's here.
No, Ted's here. What's going to happen? Am I okay? Am I okay? But it was the first one was a CEO at Channel 8 and the KFMB stations who died of lung cancer, Bob Myers, who I dearly loved. And you don't say that too often about bosses.
Yeah, fair enough.
But we really, when they talk about a family, we had a family. And it was just spectacular. And then it was Jerry Coleman and then T. Gwynn, or whatever order that was. And then this one with RJ. And I just, I hate them. I feel like a fish out of water. I really do. And, but it's good. It's good. As a broadcaster, it's good occasionally to get out of the comfort zone and do something different. And the first one, like I said, for Bob Myers at Channel 8, my heart was going boom, boom, boom. And the one that got me was not a eulogy, but the one time I did a wedding when John Moores got remarried. And it's interesting enough, and then John had been the Padre owner and so forth, and I worked for him, and it was a joy, an absolute joy. Those of us who worked back then in that group, we call it Camelot, just like the line in the play where it's that brief, shining moment where you know it will never be the same again in broadcasting the rest of your life, and that's exactly the way it was. It was incredible. It was wonderful. So John sends me an email, and it says, Ted, have you ever married anybody? And I said, "Oh, these guys! Oh, no, they're way. These guys are way ahead of me. They're way ahead of me." And I shake my head, and I get on my little laptop, and I say, "John Jay, hey, I've married everybody. What the hell are you talking about?" And so he writes back and says, "No, I mean preside over the wedding." I said, no, I've never done that. I've done, like I said, funerals, left and right. And
oh man,
yes, I'd be glad to. So I do that, and it was fascinating because it was a Friday rehearsal and a Saturday wedding, and then a brunch on Sunday, and it was just. My heart was literally, and this was after 35 years of broadcasting, and speaking at the old stadium in front of 60,000, emceeing opening day with Jerry Coleman. I'd done all that stuff, but it's different when it's a funeral, a memorial, or when it's a wedding. So I walk out there for the rehearsal, and there's President Jimmy Carter on the first.
Oh my God!
the first right below me at the podium is Jimmy Carter and Rosalynn, the former First Lady.
Oh my God.
And baseball owners and all these people. And I'm thinking, God. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this or saw it in the movie, The Right Stuff, where Alan Shepard's on the nose cone for the first launch in like 1960, the first suborbital flight, first American flight. It was simply huge because the Russians were ahead of us and all that. And so not on the public chain where you could hear the communication between NASA and the rocket, but in the inner place.
Yeah.
Just NASA people only. And I think they put it in the movie, which was just crazy. And it was, please God, don't let me screw up.
Yeah, don't let me mess this
And
one
he
up.
didn't say mess up. And he didn't say screw up.
Yeah, I got you.
And that's the prayer that I use before these things, which I used again. And Woodsy said, winging it.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. But with a caveat, for the first time in my life, I went in there with trepidation thinking, hey, you've been forgetting a lot of stuff lately. You've been blanking out. And I don't just mean that, where are my keys? Or what am I doing in the kitchen? I just came in the kitchen, so I'm going through that elderly thing. And I hope it's just that, because my older brother has Alzheimer's and my mom had Alzheimer's and her two sisters had Alzheimer's. So genetically, I'm, how did the doctors put it? Screwed.
Yeah, screwed.
Right. I want to use a medical term if I possibly could. And so I was just so grateful that I got through that. Trevor Hoffman was on the first row and he sent me a text later saying, hey, you're really great. Were you nervous? And I said, I was nervous for the first time in maybe 3 decades because I didn't want to blank out, forget stuff, screw up, or just suddenly, because that had happened to my older brother. Now with the Alzheimer's, he'd been a professor of psychology at his college, as well as having a private practice in psychology. And his students used to complain suddenly to the dean, he's forgetting his place. He's blanking out. He's repeating himself over and over. And that's how they made him retire. And that's how this all started for him.
Well, it's
So
hard
I
to
was
believe.
scared to death.
Well, it's hard to believe.
The
listening
three of
to you
us would
talk.
have to get mentally sharper over the next 25
to be
years
as sharp
to
as
get to
you.
where you are right now.
Next 25 minutes.
It's crazy.
Right here.
It's crazy. I thought about you this weekend, and I brought it up when you sat down. I thought about you this weekend. I was at home on Sunday, and I put on a movie called The Bronx Tale, which you love, right?
One of the greats of all time.
And I thought to myself, we're having Uncle Teddy in this week, and they do such a good job at painting this picture. And I go, that was Uncle Teddy's neighborhood. Like when you grew up.
That's it.
That's it. The movie The Bronx Tale with De Niro and Chaz Palminteri.
Oh.
And I'm like, what's that like for you to watch a film like that takes you back to your youth? It's the same time period too.
Yeah. And keep in mind, guys, when we get done here this morning at whatever time, now you can't leave.
Yeah, now you can't leave. You lock the door. That's exactly right.
And I saw a YouTube. I was telling Woodsy before. I saw a YouTube of an old guy that was part of that group there, an Italian guy in that neighborhood in the Bronx, and he told the story. He said, "Oh, that's a true story. I was there.
Wow.
I was there. If you saw the movie, that's based on a true story. He was there, and the bikers came in. That's exactly how it went on. That they gave him the beer. They started pouring the beer over the bartender's head, and everybody thought, "Oh, these guys are dead.
They're done.
These guys are done. You guys want butter or jam? Because you're toast. You're freaking toast." And they beat the hell out of these bikers and beat their bikes up and all that. So when I see just the bus line, because for me it was the Bronx, we moved to Yonkers, but it's the same bus line because they're on the border of each other. And I got tears in my eyes when I saw the bus. I'm so nostalgic. And it goes back to my mom, who was a saint and I loved, and my father, who was not a saint by any means. I mean, I saw De Niro as the dad and thought, "Oh,
what an angel he was!
What a guy!
What a guy he was!
Wish he was my dad.
Yeah,
I wish he was my dad.
Great dad in that movie.
And that's through my years, not just as a kid of wow, what a great dad. And my dad was verbally abusive, physically abusive, no praise, no hand around the shoulder, hand on the shoulder, nothing. So I went through all that nostalgia, and it's all based on my mom, who was, I can't get over it to this day. And I know a lot of people can relate to that. Mm-hmm. And no matter what they are, Italian, Irish, Jewish, doesn't matter. A mom's a mom. And it was just, so I look at that and I think, oh man, look at that. And there was a thing on YouTube about the 12 sayings in New York that aren't around anymore.
Yeah.
Because we all had them. In Brooklyn, they had them. The whole Philadelphia thinks they started, yo, Hey, yo, that was Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
That was Brooklyn, not Philadelphia. No offense to Philadelphia. That started in Brooklyn. So these are the 12 sayings. And it was, you're a mook. You're a moke. It was just great
They
stuff.
use him in that too.
Right.
He's such a mook.
And if Jewish, you're a putz, you're a schmendrick. And I was watching these the other day, and it was awesome. You're a crumb creep.
A crumb creep coward. I love it.
That's right. And the famous Jack Dempsey, who had his bar and restaurant in New York City, the former heavyweight champion, he called it a crumb bum. This guy's a crumb bum. Crumb bum. That was big. And of course, they all called women broads, which was just pathetic.
You're a real crumb bum.
Ben still does. It's very odd. Ben does. He still does it. It's crazy to hear. It's true.
I'm with this broad, and she says this. It was just a different,
he's old school.
Different time. Some prejudicial, some discriminatory, some bad. But from a nostalgia standpoint,
it's
everything. The Bronx and Brooklyn and Yonkers and where I was, it really was a wonderful time with sports, restaurants, and peacetime after the Korean War. It was all, but there was a lot of discrimination. I didn't know this. I was a kid, and there was an old sign when we still lived in the Bronx in a shop window, "Help Wanted," and it was old and faded. And at the bottom, it had to be, I don't know, decades old. It had INNA, which I had no clue was. And I asked my mom, what does that mean? And she said, Irish need not apply.
Wow.
That's the discrimination, not just in New York, but every place. Discriminated against the Jews, the Italians, the Irish, Chinese, the Irish, you name it. That's an inherent racism that's been in America for a long time. We love to be among our own.
Sure.
We think everybody different is bad. We're going through it again now, quite obviously, if you're different. And, but back then, we didn't know anything.
Yeah.
We didn't know any better.
Didn't know any better.
Let's go play. Let's go play stickball.
Stickball.
I love it. It's the first thing I thought of when I watched it the other day. Is Uncle Teddy. This was him listening to the Yankees on the radio when he was Yankee Mantle.
And you could listen to the Yankees. And this was even before transistor radios, early on. And the best wrote The Boys of Summer. Roger Kahn became friends of mine because everybody who knew Jerry Coleman became friends of mine. So Roger Kahn wrote The Boys of Brooklyn, one of the great, was it The Boys of Brooklyn? No, it was something else. Whatever, about the Dodgers. He was the beat guy in the newspaper, one of them, when there were 11 papers in New York, and he wrote about the Dodgers. So he said, people without...
Boys of Summer.
Boys of Summer, right. Great book. Roger was a wonderful guy. And you could walk along the tenements and windows would be open and the radio was on the ledge with a guy listening to the radio. So you could literally move from house to house down the row and ask people what the score was or hear Red Barber on the game, doing the game with this young redheaded guy named Vin Scully.
Holy cow.
Yes. And the best one that Roger had was a guy somebody yelled out, hey, this is when the Dodgers before 49 were just brutal before they had the great battles with the Yankees in the World Series. And somebody yelled out, hey, the Dodgers got 3 guys on base. And the guy yells back, which base? We know they're going to screw it up. And Roger, best line was, because I introduced Roger at a speech at the City Club here one time. It was wonderful. It was great stories. And he said he actually took his grandson to where Ebbets Field was, where the Dodgers played in Brooklyn. Now it's a giant conglomerate of apartment houses with a little plaque about it. So he stops the car and he said, Bobby, see those buildings? That's where the Dodgers played before they went to Los Angeles. And the kid looks at the apartment house and says to his grandpa, Pop, which floor?
All of them.
Ted, I don't think I've ever asked you this, and I don't mean to test your memory, but when you were growing up in the Bronx, obviously Jerry Coleman played for the Yankees.
Oh, yeah.
And then you eventually make
same.
your way out to San Diego,
Yeah.
and you had seen him, obviously, as a kid growing up. Do you remember the first time you met Jerry Coleman?
Yes, 1978, when George Steinbrenner fired Billy Martin for one of 5 times that week. And literally, I think it was 5 times that season. I really do. It's just a joke. And then they have a big thing and a big announcement in Yankee Stadium. And your attention, please, with the great, speaking of nostalgia, the great Bob Shepard, the voice of Yankee Stadium.
Your attention,
whose voice, whose diction, and all the players called him the voice of God.
Yeah.
And again, because of Jerry Coleman, we're there in '98 for the World Series, and I walk up and said, "Mr. Shepard, I'm Ted Leitner. I'm Jerry Coleman's partner. Hey, how are you?" And he was just so wonderful. And I grew up hearing him on both the Yankees and when the New York Giants played at Yankee Stadium in the 50s and 60s before they moved to New Jersey. And to hear Bob's voice in person was like getting to know Vin Scully for 40 years. I would stand there having conversation and think, let's listen to this.
Yeah, listen.
I'm hearing Vin Scully's voice.
Yeah, it's
like
actually him.
I heard in New York, and he's a friend of mine.
He's talking to me.
He's talking to me.
He's a colleague in broadcasting. Just is unbelievable. Just unbelievable. And that's been my life and my career. Just the absolute best. So yeah, I had seen Jerry playing for the Yankees, and then Billy Martin replaced him at second base. But for a while, then it was Billy Martin and the Scooter, Phil Rizzuto.
Yep.
Terrific shortstop, great player.
Funniest broadcaster ever, too. Phil Rizzuto was unbelievable.
Funny, not funny, haha.
Not funny, ha
Okay.
ha. Yeah, not funny, ha ha.
He was unbelievable.
Just
He was,
hysterical, though.
I know. And I did the same thing there. Then we got there in '98. I said, Phil, Ted Leitner and Jerry Coleman, that Huckleberry. He called everybody a Huckleberry. Where is that Huckleberry? I said, he's coming up. He's downstairs doing the manager's report. And he's coming up. And then I'm with my boyhood heroes. It was absolutely sensational. And because there was a Yankee in the room with Mickey Mantle, I got to meet Mickey Mantle.
Yeah.
To this day, Bob Costas, you know the story, carries a baseball card of Mickey Mantle in his wallet. And they would say, why? Because I believe every American should have some kind of religious artifact on the person at all times.
Amazing.
And mine is the baseball card of Mickey Mantle.
Amazing.
And to do all this in my career, the money was nice. I loved the work. But to meet these boyhood idols, most kids from the Bronx don't get to do that.
We have just scratched the surface. Take
Yes,
a quick
sir.
time out. Check some traffic. We'll come back with more. Uncle Teddy Leitner in studio with Ben and Woods. Loving it so far on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, big game coming up on Sunday. If you're looking for a way to maybe use your sports knowledge, make a little money, try Prize Picks. It's daily fantasy. Setting lineups against the numbers, just picking more or less from 2 to 6 players. It's like a season-long fantasy football season, but it's all just in one day, and you can actually win real money. All you have to do is sign up by going to the Prize Picks website, download the Prize Picks app, and use the code KWFN. You're going to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. And to get you started this week, max discount score. Drake May, New England quarterback, more than 1/2 of 1 passing yard. Put that in. Start with a winner right there. Just 2 to 6 players every single time with Prize Picks. Easy to play. I've been doing it for a while myself. I play, once or twice a week. Do it however you want. Play your game the way you want to with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Okay, player. This is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Here with Uncle Ted Leitner in studio. We'll play a Take on Woods, push it back to our next hour, give you a chance to win our weekly prize, the tickets to Guns N' Roses at Snapdragon Stadium, probably in our 9 o'clock hour somewhere. I mean, you did morning radio, Teddy, for many, many years on KFMB. And lots is the same, but there's also changes. Like we're on YouTube streaming right now. Everyone loves your Tony Gwynn shirt. They're wondering where
It is
that looks like
dandy,
a
isn't it?
custom, like a
It's
one.
I wear it all the time.
A one of one. Everyone loves that. But the reaction we get, I don't know how you would have handled it. We get instant reaction constantly
feedback
from our tier ones, and they're absolute. Teddy's a legend. Teddy's the GOAT. Teddy's a national treasure.
Thank you.
They
you.
are. They're very glad to see you. Let's say
Next
that.
line was what? He's a national treasure. Let's bury him. I know.
you ask-
Vaudeville, 1942. Right.
Can you guys ask if Ted will adopt me? Is one in there. Teddy's got plenty of kids. We were just talking about.
I would love to adopt. I really would, and I seriously kicked myself for not doing that at a time when I was making really good money and could have impacted kids at that time by giving them that kind of lifestyle. Unfortunately, as it turned out with my marital history, which was not, what
They're
I would
looking
like,
for stability.
not what I would like it to be. I would have, lost those kids and been visiting them with my hat in my hand and other things. So,
You just told me all your kids are off the payroll.
They're off my payroll.
Off the payroll.
They're on other payrolls.
Their own payroll.
They're healthy. They're healthy. My daughter is great, as Chris Rock used to say. His main goal was to keep his daughter off the pole.
Off the pole.
No
That's
strip,
exactly
no strip joint. No strip joint. If he can do that, he said, I have been a successful dad, so that makes me a successful dad. She graduated summa cum laude.
Wow.
And had a 3.9, 1B. All A's in 4 years.
That's amazing.
And so I'm as happy as can be. If they're healthy and happy, I'm happy.
That's excellent.
Yes,
That's absolutely excellent. Let's talk a little baseball, man. you know, the one constant the last few years, Teddy. Yeah, there's been some playoff success. And
Sure.
You broadcasted some very lean years here in San Diego, and I mean as lean as can be.
Please.
162 of the, you know, like you saw some bad baseball. Now there's been some better baseball, but
Much better
baseball, much more exciting baseball. The ultimate prize has eluded us. It's okay. We keep our head down. We keep grinding towards it. But in your opinion, like you've seen, my God, man, how many eras of baseball? Which has been your favorite era of baseball to watch as a fan? You know, to the because you know I grew up in I watched 80s baseball, and when I look back on 1980s baseball, I go, it was okay. Like it was okay. I see what these guys are able to do now, and I'm like, now you're talking. Like these are the most freakish athletes I've never seen. Balls hit this far. All of that for me. This is my favorite era. I've enjoyed it so much.
It's a difficult question because it's what you said as a fan. And I think of it as a broadcaster.
Sure.
That's my favorites. That would be because that deals with traveling with the guys. What kind of guys do you have? What kind of clubhouse do you have?
Yeah.
How do they treat the media? That group in the early 80s, and Randy Jones was in that group.
Yeah.
But Randy was the Velvet Glove. You know, guys like Goose Gossage and Eric Rasmussen, not the Velvet Glove.
We know. We've had a run-in with Goose Gossage on this show.
Goosey,
we have.
Goosey
I was so lucky. I don't know because maybe it was the old Don Corleone. Better they fear you than love you.
Yes.
So I'm on Channel 8 at the time and talk shows, and I'm on the air all day long. And so I'd always tell people, hey, listen, how you treat me today will be how I treat you tonight on the Channel 8 News.
I got to start trying that, man.
And I wondered sometimes if the players were just kind of working me and playing me and being nice to me. But for the most part, they were. Even Goose. Goose and I had a really good relationship. And the times I've seen him at Cooperstown, it's been hugs and great. And it's wonderful. Even Raleigh Fingers, because I really got on Raleigh. Because that group with Raleigh and a few others, when Jerry Coleman was the manager in 1980, they showed him no respect.
Wow.
And it burned my keister big time. So I would get on the air and I would beat the living crap out of them. And that's all. I'll never forget. Can I say a bad word?
What's word?
It's a B word.
Yeah. Wood says it all the time.
What, bitch?
B-A-S.
Oh, no.
Bastard?
Huh?
Bastard?
That's the one.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Okay.
bastard.
So
I was like, wait a
I'm doing a
second.
thing on Channel 8 with Dan Fouts. And we paid Dan to come in on Fridays to preview the game at the Chargers, and he comes in Monday with a postmortem. So Danny calls and says, I can't come on live, man. I can't come on live. And can you meet me? And we'll interview. We'll do an interview on the tape. So I do that. I go to the old stadium, Jack Murphy, and I'm in the middle of the interview, and Raleigh Fingers comes out of the then Padre dugout to walk across the field, and he stops. He looks up there and says, in the middle of my interview, hey, Dan, what are you talking to that bastard for?
Wow. Oh, man.
And I thought, oh, Raleigh. Okay, got to start the interview again. This is the old days, you know. And we're on film, I think. Yeah, it was film. It wasn't even tape. It was film back then. And that was my love in the clubhouse. And they had Barry Bloom had been the writer for the San Diego Union before the Union Tribune merger. And Barry he used to slash. He would slash and burn also and do stories. And they banned him from the clubhouse.
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow.
And it was Goose that said, get him out of here. Get him out of here. Hey, Barry, get out of here while you can. Get out. And so he's banned. And the only way he got back in was how most of the players learned that you have a job to do. They have a job to do. Be a professional. They learned it from Steve Garvey. And this shirt I'm wearing, T. Gwynn told me, I learned by watching Garv.
Yeah.
Now, the players thought, and Garv was not that popular with players, not with the Dodgers, not here, because they thought he was too goody two-shoes, and he was too nice. I don't know how you could be too nice. Those words are mutually exclusive to me.
Yeah.
I didn't see him as a phony. They did. And it burned me because Garv was the only guy that came up to me in the clubhouse one day and said, hey, I get you. I know what you're doing. You're opinionated. You got a big mouth, but I appreciate that. You have a job to do, and so you do that. But I see what you're doing. I see it's different, and most people don't do that. And T. Gwynn told me so many times that he watched Garv. He learned how to deal with the media, how to be a professional, know the reporters have a job to do. But some of those clubhouses back then were tough. But some of the other ones in the 90s, which to answer the question, that 96 and 98 teams
Amazing.
are just whenever I do something with them, when they brought them back to be honored or to come back, and they were guests during the blood drives and all that stuff with the Padres, it was fascinating. During the interviews, like up on the dais there, I'd be the MC with 4 or 5 guys from '98, and their phones would be going off during the interview, and it would be teammates from '98. So I would say, is this because you guys are on this forum today? Oh, no, we do this all the time.
Yeah, they do.
We've done it for 40 years. We've done it for 1 million years.
Yep.
We're the best friends, the greatest clubhouse of all time. And I found that to be so fantastic, so fantastic. And they brought them back to honor them at Petco under Peter's ownership. And it was the time that the Aztecs were on their way to the NCAAs.
That's right.
And so many of the Padre guys from '98 would ask me, "Hey, I was watching the game last night, or I was at the ballpark when that guy hit the big shot, meeting Lamont Butler," and they had an incredible attachment, those '98 Padres, to what the Aztec basketball program is like, because those Padre guys were old school. It was Ken Caminetti, no BS, it was Ken Caminetti. I'll never forget there was a Padre reliever who had been a reliever, but he wanted to be a starter. He had been a starter. They put him back in the bullpen, and he criticized Bochy. Hey, I'm not a reliever. I should be a starter. I should be a starter. So when he comes in to the clubhouse that day for the game, his entire locker is cleaned out, and all his clothes are thrown on Bruce Bochy's manager's office floor. And he comes in and says, "Hey, the hell messed with my locker? Where's everything?" And Cammy walks up to him and says, "Hey, I put him in Bochy's office. What about it?" "Why?" "Because I read in the paper that you're the manager, deciding who should relieve and who should start."
Oh my God!
I figured, and I can't do Cammy's slow, and I can't. You can't see my eyes, the death stare when you got the Caminetti death stare. And so since I thought you're the manager, you should be dressing in the manager's office. I'm sorry. I got you, Cammy.
Take your breath away, man.
I got you. I got you. The same thing in Peoria with these guys on the third base side, right by the dugout, riding him and riding him and riding. "You're a bum. You're no good." So Cammy has his 2 at-bats. I'm out. Gets dressed. Instead of walking down the right field line to get in his car and go play golf, he gets in his clothes and he goes up in the stands and he sits down next to them. And it was like, speaking of nostalgia, if you ever saw Jackie Gleason as Ralph Cramden on The Honeymooners, it was hamda, 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 hamda. And he would say, "Hey, you guys got a problem with me?"
How we doing?
No, Cammy. No, we were just kidding around. We're just kidding around. How come you said this and how come you said that? How come you said that? And I went to him. I had a great relationship with him. I loved him dearly. And I went, and I never saw a player like him. A player on a team in any market where I've been, Oklahoma, in football teams, and Philadelphia with the Phillies and all that stuff, who had a connection to the fans.
Yeah.
He was a rock star. It was mind-boggling. 4 years, that's all. But he was at a level, at a height, and different than any other star that ever played here.
We got to take another quick time out.
Man,
I
what
want
a
to talk.
story.
I want to talk about some of your TV years because I try to do what Uncle Teddy does on a nightly basis, and I always feel I can't. I don't know that I can captivate the way that Uncle Ted does. But
Don't feel
love the
bad.
stories.
You can.
It's amazing. We'll take a quick time out. Come back with more Ben and Woods with Uncle Ted Leitner after this on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 0000466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
First, though, maybe we can invite Uncle Teddy down to our place to play cards, 7 Mile Casino. It is right down the 5 freeway in Chula Vista. It is only 7 minutes from Petco Park.
That's exactly right.
You walk in, you're going to be amazed at how nice this place is. If you like playing cards, California-style blackjack, Texas Hold'em, Pai Gow, or Baccarat, there's no place in San Diego you should be going other than 7 Mile Casino.
Yeah, they got great food. They got friendly dealers. Best part, again, just the proximity to downtown, just 7 minutes away. Nothing wrong with the places that are, a little bit further of a drive, but this one's just so convenient. When you walk in, you feel like, oh, yeah, this is way better than I thought it was going to be. And we've been going there a long time, been a big supporter of this show. So do us a favor, support them back as well.
And I love that it's a 24/7 option. A lot of people work overnight shifts. I just ran into one the other day. You're getting off work at 6 a.m. You don't necessarily want to go home. Go to 7 Mile Casino. You get a meal 24/7. Have some entertainment, play some cards, and then during the day, enjoy the patio, the views of San Diego Bay. It's pretty spectacular. Tell them Ben and Wood sent you at 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please
just a
don't.
little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Back live.
That Ken Caminiti story is one of my favorite things I've ever heard in the history of baseball
Sitting next
stories.
to hecklers at spring training.
That one's great.
Unbelievable.
No, but it's the I'm going to take this guy's clothes and throw it in Boch's. I've never heard that
Ashby
story.
told me that.
You knew that?
Or maybe it happened another time, but it was basically the exact same story. Cammy. Go ahead. Yeah, he told me that he had the exact same story. Cammy's just said, "You're the manager, right?"
Yeah,
you know.
No, I heard. I thought I assumed you're the manager because you're the one they're quoting as to who should be starting, and who should be relieving. I'll also forget when Ricky Henderson came in standing at home and was tagged out. Where with Ricky's speed, even then late in his career, it was still there for the most part. He'd lost a step, but not too many, and he would have been safe if he slides and he gets called out. And Cameo walks up, and like I said, I had the kind of thing where in the press box, I could see the interaction on either TV screen or in the dugout from our vantage point. And I had that relationship where I could, and I was so fortunate because I got to know him so well and Nancy and the kids and all that stuff that I would ask him later, what were we talking to Ricky about? And I walked up, I said, hey, that better never happen again.
Wow.
You got to slide there. I got it, Cammy. I got it. You're right. 100%. 100%. And that's
Ricky.
That's Ken Caminiti.
Commanded respect.
That's
Just
Ken
commanded.
Caminiti, where people would tell me in the ticket office that they, after a while, they knew exactly what they were doing when they got these calls. Listen, I've been a Padres season ticket holder since 1969 or 73, and I'm on the first base side. I got good seats. Could I get a comparable seat on the third base side?
Yeah, they wanted to watch Cammy.
True story.
Yeah.
True story. So early on, they say, why? Then they stopped asking because they knew, I want to be close to Ken Caminiti.
Unreal.
Show me a player in any city that's ever been the case.
It's unreal. So good.
Yeah.
Uncle Ted Leitner in studio. All guests on Ben and Woods appear on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. I said I wanted to ask you about your TV days on Channel 8 because, I go every night and I'll put together a sportscast, maybe 2.5 minutes nowadays. They're much shorter than they used to be.
Oh, yeah, I got 4 minutes.
I will write a script. It'll be there in the prompter. So I got my safety net right there. But I've been told that you would do 5 minutes or more every night on Channel 8 and nothing in the prompter, just blank.
No,
just
true,
blank.
True.
Amazing.
True.
How did you do that?
I don't know. I don't know. And it served me so well in so many other things on talk shows and ad-libbing and speaking and live audiences. And I don't know where it comes from. I'll give you an idea about my wonderfully warm father, where I said, I want to be a broadcaster. And this came out of almost nowhere. And his comment was, you have absolutely no discernible talent.
Oh, God, man.
Which I'm sure is a mantra that was repeated by many, many in the San Diego audience over the years. No discernible talent. You could be a doorstop, perhaps. You could be second base, which means actually the base, not playing second base. But I could not do any math to this day, could not, and was so shy and not well read, I knew nothing. I had no confidence with the guys, no confidence with women. And it was just fascinating to me. Fascinating. I had dinner when the Padres went to New York. I would go to dinner with my high school girlfriend / prom date, who was a cheerleader when I was the captain of the football team my senior year. And we'd have wonderful conversations. And I would tell her, Sue, she passed away 2 years ago, and I can't tell you the impact it had, because it wasn't just a little 17-year-old romance, which it was everything to me. Yeah. Because after being told by my father, you're no good, and he would tell all 3 kids, you're stupid, you're a moron. That's all we ever heard, and it's so debilitating. Who's the comedian that used to be on Saturday Night Live? Mulaney. John Mulaney, yeah. John Mulaney. And John Mulaney had that kind of a father where he said one time in stand-up, I'm pretty sure my dad loved us, but he had absolutely no concern about our happiness or self-esteem.
Yeah.
And that generation, maybe he's part of that generation back then that was not affectionate and would not say good things to their kids, not give them confidence. Hey, I brought myself up with my lousy father, and you're going to have the same thing. And that's all I know, so I'm going to do that kind of a thing. And it was soul crushing. So I tell Sue, hey, I couldn't have a conversation with a girl back then, and yada yada yada. Now the cheerleader, and I thought the most beautiful girl in school, Sue was. She was, but I didn't say that to her at the time, and now she likes me, and that meant I told her at dinner 40 years later, Sue, you have no idea what that meant to me, that somebody so beautiful like you would like me when I had no self-esteem whatsoever. And in terms of getting up in front of, say, 15 kids in class to give an oral report, that we all have to do, I would cut school and face my father's wrath when he found out about it, because I would say, okay, they're going to be there. They should be by the L's, or they should be to my seat by Thursday. I'll cut school on Thursday. It mortified me to get up and speak in front of 15 kids. And that's not the Lone Ranger. Most people fear public speaking. Jerry Seinfeld does that routine that the actual research shows people, when they list their fears, it's fear of public speaking and fear of death is number 2.
Right, yeah.
So Seinfeld says, so you're telling me you'd rather be in the coffin than give the eulogy?
Correct.
Is that what you're saying? Yes.
For a lot.
Yes, it scares you to death. You're going to make a mistake. Your peers, your kids, your guys, your buddies are going to laugh at you. Or the girls are going to, what an idiot. That's crushing to you. That's crushing to a young person. So I would go years later and stand at home plate at Petco or in Qualcomm with 60,000 as a master of ceremonies, and I would look up at the upper deck packed, and I'd breathe in and go, God, I love this.
Yeah,
amazing.
I love this.
I had no idea that you overcame that fear. I think our dear friend Bill Walton, who overcame the speech impediment and would never speak. And
Yes.
then you could never shut them up.
No, after you get
And that's me. That's me. I'll never forget when Jeff Morad was going to buy the club and he was getting to know us and listen to us and all that. And he said to me one day on the bus, you know, Ted, you don't speak in sentences, you speak in paragraphs.
the bloviation.
I said, Jeff, that's my job.
That's
I'm
what
supposed to
I do.
talk. And I never talk from 2 to 18. I had nothing to say because I knew nothing. So I started to read and know stuff and whatever. And I would always tease him and say, hey, I'm a talk show host. I know everything.
That's right. That's right. That's amazing. That is amazing.
That's the way it was. So the nostalgia for me includes, you know, being able to have, I'll give you an example. Who said, Ben, did you say the gift of gab?
The gift of gab.
The gift of gab. I'm out at my junior year at Oklahoma State. And a guy in Kansas, little city in Kansas, Wellington, Kansas, little baby 250-watt radio station that does girls softball, boys pee-wee baseball, and they want to do play-by-play. So they call the head of the radio and TV department at Oklahoma State. You got a play-by-play? Yeah, we got a play-by-play guy, and you'll like him, yada, yada, yada. So that's my job. $100 a week. I thought I was Mel Allen. I thought I was Kurt Gowdy. I thought I was every big-time guy that ever lived.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful. Just wonderful.
Ted, you got one more segment in you? I've been distracted. I need to throw to traffic and get us to the top of the hour, but can I get you for one more at the top of the hour?
You can get me for as many as
Thank you so much. All right, we're gonna
Benny, I'm retired.
Let's go.
we're gonna check traffic, get that done with. We'll get to the top of the hour, and then one more segment in studio with Ted Leitner coming up next with Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. A little busy on our roads this time around. A collision on southbound side of the 805 Balboa off-ramp, motorcycle involved in that, and reports of a crash on northbound 805 before Balboa. Several vehicles got into it. It's in the center divide. Westbound 8, right before the 163 accident in the center divide. South 5 Coastline before Carmel Valley Road. Got some debris reported in the 2 left lanes. Heads up, San Diego. The next long weekend is coming up. Get road ready now. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Get you in and out fast. No appointment needed. Real pros check right.
This hour on 97.3 The Fan brought to you by GL Pools, the company trusted by thousands of San Diegans to keep their pools sparkling, swim ready, and expertly maintained. Called GL Pools now. Say radio for a free month of service. We do have our biggest fan contest announcement when we come back, and a little more in studio with the great Teddy Leitner on a Tuesday morning on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Final hour of Ben and Woods on a Tuesday morning. We've got Uncle Ted Leitner in studio. Before we do anything else, though, it is time to announce our biggest fan winner of the day. If you hear your name called, you'll have 10 minutes to call us back at 833-288-0973. You remember radio contests, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Ted, if you call us back, you will qualify for the grand prize, night in an Odyssey suite at a Padres game this upcoming season with all the fan staff, catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. This morning's biggest fan is Nick Montemarano from San Diego. Nick Montemarano, you are on the clock. 10 minutes. 833-288-0973. For everybody else, register your name at 973thefan, sd.com/biggest fan. Maybe we can get Uncle Teddy to stop by the suite that night, too.
Not a problem.
Amazing.
Hey, I'm retired. I'm retired. I have those bumper stickers in Arizona in spring training. I'm retired. I don't do anything, and I don't start doing it till noon. That's me. That's me.
Yeah, I met you in the elevator, 8 a.m. You go, it's a little early for me in my retired age. A little early.
But I'm just listening to Ben do commercials, and I would do those live commercials during my afternoon and morning shows. And we had Hudson and Bauer at the time that were very popular, as was Jeff and Jer.
Yeah.
And we lost Jerry. That just
Did, yep.
killed me.
Yeah.
Killed me. What a guy. What a guy. And we would do stuff, and many times the sponsors would get upset, and we'd say, "No, we just spent an extra 40 seconds making a joke about your product." But they didn't see it that way.
No, they didn't.
So I'll never forget. I forget who I upset. And Paul Palmer, rest his soul, a great man, a wonderful man. There was a general manager of the radio station, so he calls me and said, "Would you stop? We're making a lot of money, but stop criticizing and making jokes about the advertisers." So I say, okay. And then we go on, and I was on a Padre trip, and I got jerked around by an airline that bumped me off. I got bumped. And so I get on, and Hudson and Bauer had heard that I had trouble the night before. What happened? And now I'm thinking, Paul just told me to shut up. And I say, nothing. I just had a little problem with the airline. It's no big deal. And Mac says, what airline? And I said, I
don't want to say.
I can't say. What airline? What? I said, Mac, I can't say, but I will say this. They fly in the continental United States.
Are you saying?
And they served us a continental breakfast that morning. And so they're gone by the next day. They cancel. Paul, they cancel. Continental Airlines just doesn't exist now. It was in a merger, and it's gone. And so Paul calls me in again. Gosh, dang it.
I told you.
Didn't I tell you? It's coming. And so as I'm leaving, I'll never forget this. As I'm leaving, Paul says, Teddy, what? You keep this up, when you die, they're going to have to hire pallbearers.
Are you saying
great line?
Are you saying that Uncle Teddy sometimes can have a temper? Because one of the favorite clips that we play on this show, do you remember?
Aztec basketball?
Non-West tournament. Paul's always got
56. Aztecs. These guys are unbelievable. Driving down the lane. They get it. We got a broadcast here, and you're worried about a suitcase. Unbelievable. These people are unbelievable in this arena. They got security guards think they're guarding the Pentagon. Come over here, interrupting me during a broadcast to worry about a suitcase. Unbelievable. Stupid.
Three unbelievable.
Totally stupid. At the line. Excuse me. Bairstow, free throw, of course. He can't miss. New Mexico comes on back on the and one by Cameron Bairstow to take a 59-57 lead. Had a guy reach over my shoulder, tapping me on the shoulder, asking me a question during the drive there by Cameron Bairstow. Because my suitcase is behind the chair, and he thinks it's too much in the way by these morons that think the terrorists are honing in here on the Mountain West tournament in Las Vegas.
The best. The absolute best.
That's so legendary to hear that. And you're in the zone, man. You're in the zone.
I kept it clean, did I not?
You did.
I'm very proud of me because, like we said, I'm from the streets of New York. So I've said a couple of bad words that have, peeled off the paint of my hood sometimes when someone cuts me off in traffic. And that guy, and I missed that Bairstow layup, won the game. It won the game and the Mountain West tournament for New Mexico. And I missed the play, so my audience missed the play, and that's inexcusable. And that's because the guy literally not just tapped my shoulder, he grabs my shoulder to point to the suitcase that's right behind my seat.
Live on the air.
It's blocking the aisle.
You
right
already
while
checked
I'm on
out of
the
your
air.
hotel. You got to leave right after the game.
Right.
So where else are you going to put it?
I'm going from there to march back to spring training with the Padres. So I got the suitcase, and the fact that I didn't take a life was
Yeah, throwing a punch at least at a minimum. I thought would
really
have been.
that's more than you can ask for.
I love hearing that. We love that clip.
Oh my God, do we love that clip? Uncle Teddy, we play it. It's going to live forever, man. It's going to live forever.
If only.
Yeah, right. It will, man. It will.
Dominic brings up one. Paulie can call it up. But when you were doing Padres games with Jesse Agler,
yeah,
we had a bid every week where Jesse would come on and we give him an incorporator word. So he'd have to put the incorporator word in. And I think it was one of the very first one. Yeah, we gave him the word mayonnaise to work into the broadcast.
Not easy, I might add.
Yeah, no, it was. And we still have the audio from that one as well.
Here's the 1-2, and a swing and a miss. Nunez strikes out. Now 2 down here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Second strikeout of the night for Logan Allen. So you got your crab meat, your lump crab meat, your mayonnaise, your breadcrumbs, your spices, your herbs, all that goes into it. But sometimes too many breadcrumbs, too much filler, not as good. So you got to know where to go to get your great mayonnaise. 2 outs, the base is empty. Padres leading 5-1 in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Thank you, Bobby Flay.
Yes. Well, you know, a little bit of a foodie, a little bit of a food snob.
I'm a little bit of an eater. Snob's got nothing to do with it.
It's so good. Jesse, who we absolutely love. We have
Hey,
him on
Jesse,
every
you
week.
kidding me? Jesse's my boy.
He's unreal.
Are you kidding me?
Listen to his voice back then, too. It sounds so much different. He sounds like a little kid.
We had so much fun for those years together, and he was so respectful to me, older and all that stuff, and never campaigned for the job. Like, you know, this business is like.
Oh, yeah.
And I would see that. So we'd sit in our box, Jerry and I, before the game doing our scorebooks and so forth, and which was a pleasure to begin with. And I would see visiting broadcasters down talking to the owners, you know, talking to John Moores, whoever. We'd say, look, this guy, he's trying to get our job.
Trying to get our job.
This goes on all the time. Jesse was never, not even a hint of that crapola. And I'm so glad that he and T are doing that. I love listening. I love the fact that they've taken it and made it their own. It's just absolutely wonderful. I thought you were going to play clips of me and Jerry, because in terms of hysterics, where you just can't stop. You know, you're in church, you're in school, you're not allowed to laugh, but you're laughing so hard that you just can't stop. And Jerry and I had 35 years of that. And sometimes he was unintentionally funny. Sure. And other times it was just, he wouldn't look at me because he knew he'd said something that was not what he meant. And I'd see him checking me out of the corner of his eye to make sure that I wouldn't jump in and say something. You know the Cleveland story, right?
No, tell us the Cleveland story.
We're in Cleveland, and they have the drum. They got the bushy hair.
Yeah.
He's got the drum.
Yeah. Chief Nakahoma.
That's he's banging the drum, and they're little, as they call it, the mezzanine or the loge is right in front of the press box.
Oh my
so
God.
all of a sudden, he bang, 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 bang. Now he's right below us.
Oh no!
And on the air, Jerry says, Who's doing the drumming? What's going on? And Jerry had a very short fuse when it came to stuff like that. He's a purist. He wants the game, so do it. And I said, Jerry, don't you remember that's the guy that the Indians took him to court because so many elderly people were concerned and bothered by his drum all the time that the judge said, okay, you can go back in, but you have to buy a ticket for yourself and you have to buy a ticket for the drum. That's how I'm cutting the baby in half and everybody's going to be satisfied.
Wow.
True story. That's what they did. So I tell the story to Jerry on the air that he's back, he's banging his drum and yada, yada, yada. So Jerry said, well, let him go home and bang someone else.
Was Chief Nakahoma the Braves or the
Braves? That was
the Braves.
Yeah.
Who was the Indians?
And so
Chief
my
Wahoo.
favorite part of all those things, we go to the commercial break, and I'm laughing so hard. And Jerry says, "What? I said, "You said, but you said." He said, "No." I said, "Go home and bang something else." I put your headphones on. I tell Dave Marcus, the producer, go ahead and have him play it back in the studio. They play it back. I'm watching Jerry, nodding his head, takes the phones off and says, "Yes, I guess I did say that."
I loved Colemanism so much growing up. I mean, Rich Folkers is throwing up in the bullpen, and just the classic ones that.
Remember the one with Randy with RJ? RJ was the one who told me when I got here in '78 that he had said, "There's a little guy from Poway," which is how it was pronounced back then, from Poway with that Karl Marx hairdo.
Not Groucho Marx.
And he meant Harpo Marx.
Harpo Marx.
He meant Harpo Marx. It was Karl Marx. So we go to the commercial, Jerry. Karl Marx wrote the Communist Manifesto.
Right. Not somebody.
And he had a lousy curveball. His fastball couldn't do anything. Bad choice.
It's unbelievable.
Too much fun. Too much fun to have when you're getting actually paid to go watch baseball games. Thank you, God. Thank you. And thank you, San Diego, for the career, honestly.
Yeah, for real. I feel the same way, man. 15 years I celebrated yesterday,
Yes,
the day
indeed.
before. And it's just like it's a dream. It's just a dream. We were talking about it off the air that, what a dream it is to get to do this. And like you said, meet your boyhood heroes.
Oh, gosh.
And I mean, the career that you had, Uncle Teddy, incredible. Just incredible.
It was in so many different ways. When I wrote a book about 5 years ago called TED Talks, how about that for a plug?
It's great. It's a great title.
And
though,
what
for a
it
book.
did,
Come on.
because I didn't write it, John Freeman, who wrote for the San Diego Union back then, did his father, Don, who was a wonderful guy, who was the radio TV guy for 1,000 years. Then John became a sports guy. And I don't know where the hell I was going with that. What was the question?
TED Talks.
TED Talks.
He wrote
yeah,
it.
TED
Yeah.
Talks. That part of the book, me talking to John, he records it, transcribes it, then we edit it together and so forth. Was thinking, gosh, I forgot that guy gave me that job, and this guy gave me this. I never had to make up an audition tape.
Yeah.
I never had to audition. I was always working and getting other jobs handed to me. And for so many different people, thank you. When Jerry Coleman came back, I started in 1980 when Jerry became the manager, and they said, who can we get to be an extra broadcaster? And it was me. That I said, oh, I'll do that. When I was at that station, it just worked out perfectly. You got to be okay. You got to work hard, but you got to be lucky. And I was lucky. So Jerry gets fired. Jerry comes back as he tells me I'm having surgery. I have a hole in my stomach. And I said, that's an ulcer. Yes. That's what the 1980 season did to him.
Jeez.
I said, Joe, well, you tried to do it without pitching. That's much more difficult. You should have had pitching. I know.
Thanks for telling me.
Teddy, before you go, we have something we do on the show that everyone wants to include you in. We have the topic wheel. We don't know what question's going to come up.
What's coming up.
It could be anything.
Anything.
Randomly generated. Paulie gives it a spin, and then we all have to answer the question that comes up. So it could be anything.
I don't have to. I don't work
We
here.
don't have to. It's true.
Actually,
You're
you don't
retired. You
have
can do
to.
whatever
You
you want. You can just listen to us answer the questions.
As we said as kids in the Bronx, you're not the boss of me.
Yeah, you're not the boss.
You're not the boss of me.
All right, this is a fun one, at least lighthearted. Is it ever acceptable to clap on an airplane?
Yes.
Ooh. Oh, yes.
And
100%.
I've experienced that on landings after tremendous turbulence.
Yes.
I've had applause there.
See, I've had it after no turbulence. People are
it's a
just doing
normal
bits.
flight,
We're here, we landed.
If it was a dicey flight and you get down smoothly, I can see a round of applause for
I've
the
seen
pilot.
that. I've seen that. I was on Alaska Airlines on a flight for an Aztec game commercially, and the captain came out and grabbed the telephone, whatever, the PA, and he said, "This is my last flight." And I thought, that's not good. That's not going to be good. That's not going to be good. No, but then it got better. He says, my last flight, I'm Captain so-and-so. And he's the kind of captain I like to see. The white hair, you think military background,
Sully,
fighter pilot,
yeah.
that's my kind of
Yeah, that's my
guy.
guy.
I want him up there. He said everything that can happen, he's going to handle it. He's fine. He's just fine. And he said, I'm doing my last flight with my son. My first officer, my co-pilot, is my son, Bob, and he's going to be taking over. And the applause was just wonderful.
Cool.
It was just wonderful. I just loved it. Another flight where a bunch of Marines got on.
Yeah, that's on planes for sure.
I'll get choked up here. These boys of ours got on with their dress uniforms on, and the entire plane started to applaud.
Rips up. Yep.
Having lived through Vietnam, where these boys came back because they did their duty as their country asked them to, whether you liked it or not, or whether it was a controversial war or whatever, or Lyndon Johnson was a piece of whatever it was, whatever
They still
you
had
think,
to go over
whatever
there.
you think, they went.
Yeah.
They went. And the ones who didn't go, somebody else had to go in their place. But now we got it wrong in Vietnam, and we would mistreat them, and people would spit on them. And then suddenly with the Gulf War, we really understood they're answering the call. There's no higher calling than answering the call of your country,
Yeah,
And
brilliant.
that applause in the plane made me feel like an American. I just loved every second of it.
I loved every second of today, Uncle Teddy. That was
amazing.
such a treat,
That
man.
was amazing.
The game's over? That's it?
Game's
That's
over.
it. Yep.
Big Dan says, no disrespect to any of your weekly guests. They just don't have the stories like Uncle Teddy. I can listen to Uncle Teddy every day.
Somebody said, can we get Uncle Teddy Tuesdays
Teddy
going?
Tuesday is a great idea.
Teddy Tuesdays.
Teddy Tuesday is great.
You can call my agent if I ever get one. I don't have one. I never had one.
You can have
your people call my people. Once I get the people, that'll be fine, and I'd come out anytime.
Teddy Tuesday is one of the better ideas I've ever seen. Teddy Tuesday.
We'll have our people negotiate with your people.
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, he did call in just in time. Is this Nick Montemarano?
I like
this is me. Hey, how's it
Nick,
going?
congratulations. I saw you blinking about 9 minutes in. You snuck in under the wire, and you have qualified for our biggest fan contest. You are good to go, Paulie says, so we'll let you know if you win at the end of the contest. But thanks for listening, man.
Amazing. Thanks so much. And I huge voter for the Teddy Tuesday, too.
Teddy Tuesday.
Everybody's in.
Everybody's in for Teddy Tuesday. Well, we really appreciate it, Ted. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're going to come back. We missed a few things while Teddy was here. We're going to play Take on Woods. If you want to be our contestant, try to qualify for the Guns N' Roses tickets, our trivia game. UV Woods coming up next. 833-288-0973. Call now. We will come back with more Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. While we say goodbye to Teddy, I'll remind you one more time with the big game this week. It's a perfect time to get started with daily fantasy at Prize Picks, your last chance to play a little football before next fall rolls around. And this week is a perfect time to get started because with the big game, they've got the max discount square. Drake May, 1/2 of 1 passing yard. You just pick more because you're picking against the stat numbers. Put that in your winning lineup with between 2 and 6 players and win actual money. I mean, you're watching the games anyway. Play however you want to. It's just fun. You can go with basketball. You can go points, rebounds, assists, all your favorite players, your favorite teams, college basketball. You're watching a game tonight at Viejas Arena. You can play Prize Picks every single day of the week. When you sign up, just make sure you use the code KWFN. You're going to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Get started today. It's Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Going until 10 o'clock this morning. Ben and Woods here on 97.3 The Fan. Teddy's still actually in the building. He said he might stick around to watch Woods play Take on Woods. But
now I'm very nervous.
We got a contestant on the line. We got our either musical, TV, or movie trivia contest. Up to the listener. We will find out. Let's get to today's game. Take on Woods brought to you by Bay Alarm Security and Fire Alarms for every business. We got you, and we got Troy as our contestant this morning on Take on Woods. Good morning, Troy.
Good morning, Ben.
And Uncle Teddy's going to go out with Woods, who's now isolated. He cannot hear this part of the game. You'll get your 5 questions. He'll get his 5 questions, and if you can beat or tie Woods, you will qualify for this week's week's grand prize drawing of the tickets to Guns N' Roses at Snapdragon Stadium on September 2nd. Get your own tickets at Ticketmaster.com. You get to pick which game you want to play, though. We've got music, 5 Alive. 5 bands or artists with 5 in their name. We got movies, martial arts, 5 movies loaded with martial arts action. And our new TV category, ampersand shows. Show titles that have the little and symbol, the ampersand in their title. So, music, 5 Alive, movies, martial arts, or TV ampersand shows. Troy, what would you like to play?
Music.
Music. All right, 5 alive. I think this is kind of a tough one today. There are 5 bands or artists with the word/number 5 in their name. You'll have 60 seconds to answer as many as you can. If you don't know one, say pass. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. First question is our 2-second song. Paulie will play you the little music. You need to give me the title of the song and the artist to score the points. Troy, are you ready to play?
Yes.
All right, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. Remember the word 5 in all of our artists or bands. 5 alive the category. Your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck, Troy. Let's take on Woods.
Jackson 5. ABC.
Correct. Piano-based soft rocker Vladimir Ondrasik, with top 40 hits including Superman and 100 Years, is known professionally by what
5 for Fighting.
Correct. Which English band's 1964 hit Glad All Over knocked the Beatles' I Want to Hold Your Hand out of the top spot on the charts?
Pass.
1997's Brick was the most successful single for which North Carolina trio that chose its name for alliteration rather than numerical accuracy?
Yeah. Pass.
2011's Under and Over It was a successful hit for which platinum-selling hard rock band from Las Vegas?
5 Finger Death Punch.
Correct. Which English band's 1964 hit Glad All Over knocked the Beatles' I Want to Hold Your Hand out of the top spot on the charts?
Ben at 5 or something.
Incorrect. Actually, the
Close.
next one was Ben Folds 5. That was Brick. The Dave Clark 5 is the old band from 1964. You did get 3. Jackson 5, 5 for Fighting, and 5 Finger Death Punch. Let's bring Woods back in. Tough category. That could be enough today. Not sure. We will find out. Troy's score is locked in. Woods, I will let you know it is a music category today against Troy. That's all you get, though. 60 seconds back on the clock. Same 5 questions. Your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck, Woods. Let's take on Troy.
It's ABC by the Jackson 5.
Correct. Piano-based soft rocker Vladimir Ondrasik, with top 40 hits including Superman and 100 Years, is known professionally by what 3-word stage name?
Is it Yaz?
Incorrect. Which English band's 1964 hit Glad All Over knocked the Beatles' I Want to Hold Your Hand out of the top spots on the charts?
I feel like the category would help me.
Yes, it would.
Pass.
1997's Brick was the most successful single for which North Carolina...
Ben Folds 5.
Correct. 2011's Under and Over It was a successful hit for which platinum-selling hard rock band from Las Vegas?
Platinum-selling hard rock band from Vegas.
Under and Over It.
So Ben Folds 5. We got Jackson 5. Oh, 5 Finger Death Punch.
Correct. Which English band's 1964 hit Glad All Over knocked the Beatles' I Want to Hold Your Hand out of the top spot on the charts?
5
Dave Clark 5.
Dave Clark 5.
3-3 tie. So, Troy, that's good enough to qualify. And the one you didn't get was 5 for Fighting.
5 for Fighting.
Vladimir Ondrasik. Those were all bands and artists with 5
I haven't heard of those guys
in their name. I thought it was a tough one today. I thought you both did fairly well
That was
on the
very
3
tough. Yeah.
on 5 Alive. Very, very tough category.
I like that Ben Folds song.
Yeah, they were a trio, but they just thought Ben Folds 3 didn't sound as good as
Ben Folds 5.
Folds 5. So they
I like
just
that.
went with Ben Folds 5.
I forgot about that song. She's a brick. Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, Troy, thank you for playing. Paulie will get your information during the break. And then I believe Paulie's going to give us some headlines and a little late Reindl Report to wrap things up in our final segment. It is all coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
That is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Humul Casino Resort, now open.
Broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. Bennett Woods wrapping things up on a Tuesday morning.
You feel inadequate right now a little bit because
Yes.
I definitely do. I do feel inadequate. And I don't.
It shouldn't be that easy.
It shouldn't be that easy, but it is.
But we're the number 18 major market morning show in America. Why does he make it seem so much easier than we do?
God bless. What a treasure.
He could go
one.
on shows 1 through 17 and enhance their shows
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's that good.
He's incredible. The time just flies by.
I thought what stuck with me the most about Teddy's visit is I didn't know how afraid he was of public speaking growing up.
Was he giving all the credit to Sue for giving him the confidence?
His
to,
high school sweetheart.
She liked him, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Whoa, all right, I better get it together." You know, but
it's okay.
rad.
So it's amazing what someone else, and you shouldn't have to have someone else give you a dose of confidence.
Oh, for
but
sure.
Woods, you've given me a lot of confidence.
Likewise.
And it really makes a difference. Like you can believe in yourself, but until someone else kind of believes in you,
Gives you a
you're
push.
always going to be, am I just deluding myself?
Correct.
Am I overconfident for no reason? Someone else kind of has to believe in you for you to truly believe in yourself, which doesn't seem right. But I think psychologically, if you're a normal person with reasonable doubts, you're always going to wonder, am I the only person who believes in myself? There are people out there who are, hey, I was the only person who believed in me and still succeeded, but it's got to be a lot harder that way. When you have someone else who believes in you, I think it makes a huge difference.
Let me tell you guys something too, man. You know, dads out there. How old is Uncle Teddy? 82 years old, 80-something years old? When that man talks about his father and the way 79. When that man talks about his father and the way his father treated him probably 75 years ago, the trauma and the pain is still there. 75 years later, his dad's dead and gone. But when he talks about it, Ben, you see it still. And so I think, it's a really good lesson for any dads out there, or moms, but, talking about dads in particular right now, love your children. Tell them that you love them. Put your arms around them. Tell them that you are proud of them. Because 75 years later, you see in this man's eyes how much that affected him and how much it shattered his self-confidence. And that's what jumped out at me. I didn't know that about Uncle Teddy at all. Had no idea. But again, that break that curse of generational trauma. And he said it when he talked to us. He said, the dads were like, hey, I had it rough. Guess what? You're going to have it rough too. Doesn't have to be that way. And I just was so moved by that. He's such a gem of a human.
I get to be a happy dad this week.
Yeah.
Last night, my son came home.
Oh, it's
visiting
so good.
Moved to Seattle, of course, back in September. But I think the brutal winter with never seeing the sunshine was getting to him. So coming back for a week or so. And
can I ask you a question?
Yes.
He knew this was coming, right?
Yeah.
Right. But you're never really prepared for it. It can't be that bad. And then you get up there like, oh yeah, this sucks. This is really tough.
I mean, I know right where he lives. Yes. I had friends that lived around the block from where he's at now. And I'm like, yeah, I remember those cold, wet days, just walking to the bus or whatever you're doing.
I think it's been extra cold. I mean, just really brutal, like the winter everywhere else.
So when he got back, you said Jack picked him up.
Jack picked him up at the airport. Yep. Got in and out burger for the family. We just had movie night. We watched Fargo, great classic.
Unbelievable.
It was nice to have all my people under the same roof.
He's so happy to be back.
It's been a while. Yeah, I think so.
What's he going to do?
Oh, he's going to have some friends. We're actually he wanted to go to Disneyland. So we're doing a Disneyland day after the show tomorrow.
Nice.
Which will be fun with the whole family. I took the day off television to do that so we could spend some time together. But I think he just wants to enjoy being at home. Didn't do anything to his room. It's still already.
See, I told you to turn it into a man cave.
I did not turn it into a man cave yet. So
into your little, your little self-seduction palace. You could have made it into a little chair and.
No,
Dad, please! I'm trying to get my bedroom. No, I thought you were gone. I made it to my dad's personal space.
All right, we need to check traffic before we continue on this conversation. Check traffic one last time, and then Paulie's going to give us some headlines with the Reindl Report.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Creative Repipe. Got a few problems wrapping up our morning drive here. Northbound side of the 805 at Balboa. Collision in the center divide. Also westbound King Freeway near Bancroft. There is a collision. Tow truck is helping to clear that over to the right shoulder. Traveling on southbound 5 just before the 52. Reports of some sort of debris in the two right lanes. Also, South 5 coastline, just past Poinsettia, accident involving a couple cars. They're in the center divide. And reports of a collision on eastbound 78, just past Civic Center. It's got the fast lane blocked. Don't wait till that water leak in your home becomes a flood. Call Creative Repipe for a whole house repipes. Get a 20% discount plus a lifetime warranty. Free estimates with financing available. Visit creativerepipe.com. That's creativerepipe.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul. All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
On 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right. This might have to be a stop down.
Oh.
Death by Palm Tree might have just ruined our entire show and the Reindl Report. Go ahead. Somebody read it.
Fine. He says, Ben, I don't know why Ben, your upper tank water story yesterday talking about how the upper tank of the toilet is
the toilet
I was
vulva.
fixing it, but
Right.
I said that's not the dirty water. It doesn't mingle with the bottom water.
But you still shouldn't brush your teeth with it.
But he said it reminded him of one that Scraby told recently, and I did not hear Matt Scraby say this, but Matt Scraby apparently said, I don't know if this was on his show or the Gwen and Chris program.
It was on Gwen and Chris overtime.
He clogged the toilet at a party and then wrapped his arm and hand in toilet paper to take out the obstacle, the blockage. Oh. I'm sure it's horrifying once you're at a party and you clog the toilet.
Why do you drop a deuce at a party? If you have to drop a deuce at a party, guess what? Party's over. Party's over for me.
Number 2.
Unfortunate. Guys, I got to split.
I got to go.
Something just came up.
Having an emergency.
I'm not running into a bathroom at a party. Man, I sure hope nobody hears me, sees me. Notice I've been in here for 15 minutes. I'm leaving. I'm getting out of here.
What if you don't think you're going to make it home, though?
Better in the car, in your pants, or on the side of the road than at a party where there's like
at
girls,
someone's house.
Where there's girls there at somebody else's home. I have a general rule. I don't do that at other people's homes. Ever. Never. I mean, if I'm staying with you for a week, yes, obviously. But like I'm not gonna come over and be like, hey, give me 15, I'll be right back. Just wait. Hold on. Somebody just said, does no one have a poop knife? What is a poop knife? Does anybody know what that is?
This sounds dangerous.
Is that you take it out? Is it like a switchblade and you cut
before you flush?
I need a full report on this. Somebody just said poop knives are real. I'm riveted. And Scraby, listen, I'm all for being open and honest on the radio. It's my favorite thing to do. You don't have to tell every story. Some of those you want to leave in the
from you is very rich.
Some of those you can just leave in the vault. All right, Paulie, I'm sorry.
I don't know where to go.
I mean, we had to stop down for that, did we not?
Yes. You mentioned it. I go, what are you talking about? Like, I scroll
I go read it.
Oh, my God.
Sorry.
All right, let's get started.
You have
here.
the rest of the show to
All
do
right.
with what you will.
Well, let's go quickly here. We'll start in the NFL Media Day. I don't even really know why they're still doing it.
I know.
But
Media
they're
nights
still
now.
doing media nights. They've moved it from Tuesday to Monday, Super Bowl week. So yesterday, all the players are there. They all have their own individual podiums, and anybody in Santa Clara with a camera pretty much is just huddled around you. And now it's just evolved into everyone's doing bits. And there was a bit done last night. Now, Dave Damashek is the guy, I believe everyone said, is the guy that asked this question. He asks it every year. That's his bit.
Okay,
But
so
people
it's a bit.
still see this clip and they hear it and then they go, are you kidding me? What a stupid question.
They get mad at it.
And they get mad. So now everyone's reacting to, here is Mike Vrabel being asked, well, if the Super Bowl is a must-win game or not.
Is this a must-win game?
A must-win? Yeah, I think every time we go out, there's a must-win game. I mean, it's kind of the attitude that I've always taken in the National
He's
Football
really
League.
answering it seriously?
I think he was playing along.
Was he? Okay.
Is what
All right.
most people are saying.
Okay.
Everyone knew Dave was going to ask that question at some point, and everyone believes, by people that know, they think that Vrabel was just rolling with it and having some fun. But yes, is the Super Bowl a must-win game? Any other highlights from media night for you guys?
First I've heard of it, actually. That's
It was probably the least relevant media day / night I can ever remember. They held it. So San Francisco is hosting the Super Bowl, but the game is in Santa Clara.
an
The
hour
media
away.
night was at the San Jose Convention Center. Like the hotels where the media staying, it's like an hour and a half away to get to media night. This is why San Diego was always the best site for everything. Everyone stays downtown. The convention center hosts everything. Yeah. All the restaurants are there. And
You're
then,
right there, man.
And then you go to the game, and yeah, it's 10 minutes away, but it's fine. It's just perfect. But San Francisco is so spread out for an event like this. It doesn't even make any sense.
Such a nightmare to cover, I bet.
Got another story from over the weekend. This happened on Saturday night. You may have seen a video going around on social media. of a boxing match.
So good.
A match between Jarrell Miller And who was he fighting? I'm trying to pull up his name right here. Kingsley. He was going up against Kingsley. This was at Madison Square Garden. U.S. heavyweight Jarrell Miller was fighting at Madison Square Garden on Saturday night. He got hit so hard that, well, his wig came off.
His toupee.
His piece.
Like
his hair piece.
Maury's
comes
wig.
flying off. And you can see it fly all the way back. And the ref immediately gets in between these two guys.
Smiling, by the way.
And he goes, okay, yeah, we're going to have to stop the fight, at least temporarily. I've never seen this before in a sporting event, in any sort of boxing match or anything. The hair just completely is sticking straight off his head. And so he was, of course, talking after the fight. And he said, it says here, speaking about what happened in his post-fight interview, Miller said, quote, I get to my mama's house and she has some shampoo bottles on the table. I shampooed. It was like ammonium bleach. I literally lost my hair like 2 days ago.
What?
So I called my manager and said, get me one of those manes. And I slapped it on real quick. I'm a comedian. I make fun of myself. And he did not do a good enough job of slapping that mane on, because one hit to the dome and it sent it flying.
The best part was that it peeled back and stayed in the back, and it just peeled.
I don't have experience with toupees. Is it a glue or
It's
what?
like a glue
that holds it on. I will say, until it flopped off, though, I would have never known. Never known that wasn't real hair.
Look at it fly back. So here's the other thing. So if you go, all right, so he goes to his mom's house. He uses some ammonia shampoo that was like, if his hair fell out.
Oh, God.
So that you're a boxer. You're a big old boxer. Shave your
opponent's
head.
as bald as can be.
Bald as can be.
I think it would be that weird.
Shave your head. Bick it. Razor thin, and then go to your fight looking like a true badass with that, and not some big hair piece.
Oh.
That was brilliant, man. I watched that thing 50 times.
I meant to ask you guys the other day. I was like, have you guys seen this? It's so
God, that's good, dude.
All right, and then finally we will wrap it up. I got to start. Now this is crazy. I saw this, found this in the prep service this morning. They have a story about a guy named Skip Boyce. And I literally just came across one of his videos on Instagram yesterday, just scrolling the Reels page. I didn't follow him. It just got fed to me by the algorithm. But this is a story of a 49-year-old man who is working on he's currently doing a year of isolation project where he wants to stay locked in his room for 365 days, live streaming 24/7 for 365 days. He is claiming that this is going to help him grow,
make money.
Right. He wants to. His goal was to be able to do a pull up or a chin up, I think, by the end of it. So he's
working out.
Done all this. He started this on January 10th. So he's 3 weeks in. He's literally like streaming live right now. He built a little gym in his bedroom. He built a bathroom in there. And I guess people are bringing him food, or he's got a year's supply worth of food. I don't know. He's not leaving his bedroom that he has set up for this live stream, unless obviously pending an emergency. He is not planning on leaving. This is done in Utah. He used to own a construction business.
Can people come in to the room with him?
Says he still lives with he lives with family. His kids are adults now. And
his wife's like, cool, man. See you in a year.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
Everyone goes,
enjoy your project.
He's
Hopefully
like,
you
look,
get that chin up in.
This is going to be a big part of my growth, and
What kind of growth?
I'm nervous about doing this. This is something out of my comfort zone.
I'd say so.
Honestly, whatever he wants to do, fine by him. What bothers me is that people consider this content nowadays.
Yeah, just you're
stop
just streaming.
Stop considering things like this as content. If you weren't entertained by it, if he didn't think people were actually going to log in and watch him working out and being in his room for a year, he wouldn't do it. But there,
with our channel.
I mean, there's a bunch of people in his stream
So ever
commenting.
since, stuck here.
This was just a few minutes ago. He's
All right,
walking
so
on a
he's working
treadmill.
out. PayPal. See,
I get
there's
it.
his
We have an
PayPal.
awesome set of people.
How long could you watch a guy just live?
30 seconds.
I'm done.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's check back in on him in a few months and see how he's doing.
I mean,
If somebody said, "Hey, we're going to give you $1 billion, can you stay in a room for a year?" Fine. But hey, guys,
that's a Mr. Beast
right?
idea.
But like, hey, you guys want to watch me every day, everything I do. What if Kenny? He's not gonna. You can't do that because
is he on camera the whole? There must be a bathroom.
He's streaming
right?
the whole
bathroom. Got a bathroom.
I guess you can go
he's got a little sauna.
What happens if he clogs the toilet though?
Well, you obviously wrap your hand in toilet paper,
get a poop knife,
and then get a poop knife. And get it out of there, as we learned right here on 97.3 The Fan this morning. Like, I can tell that story because I'm a married man. I'm married. I've got kids. Scraby's still single. You don't want to tell those stories. Hey, let me tell you about this diarrhea. Right, he's on the market. I'll tell you guys about the time I had to lift my own turd out of a toilet by wrapping toilet paper around my arm. You got to be discerning about these things, Scrapes. Just text me.
We have our own Cologuard stories that we shared.
We're married. I'm a married man. I'm good.
That's it for us. Our thanks again for the generous time of Uncle Ted Leitner. Appreciate Teddy coming in a ton.
Legendary.
For executive producer Paul Reindl and Stephen Woods, I'm Ben Higgins. We'll talk to you again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. right here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.